everyone, and welcome to the 5-Star Joshi Show here on the Fight Game Media Network. I am your host, as always, Scott Edwards, and yes, I am very late to the show, and I apologize, but thank you so much for those who are joining me live here on a nice Thursday night. This is the annual 5-Star Grand Prix Preview. I'm very excited to talk to all of you about the biggest tournament of the year in women's professional wrestling. Please make sure to share. Let everyone know that this show is live. I'm very excited to talk about this tournament. It is, like I said, the best women's tournament in professional wrestling. Now, and I think it's the best tournament in professional wrestling, bar none. G1's making sure of that this year, but that's my only that's my only disrespect of the G1 this year for now. But let's kick it over. Let's make sure this looks very nice. Make sure to comment in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. I'm gonna have guests on later in the show. I just want this to be a fun, great old time. 5-Star Grand Prix 2023 preview. Let's see who we have in the chat. We got 6-Star. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 5-Star Joshi Show. Yes, that's exciting. It's fun, guys. Welcome. Sorry for being late. Fashionably late. Exactly, Venji. You were damn right. Joni, how are you doing? Colin, how are you? Respect evil. I always respect evil. Evil's the man. But let's go. Yes, it's serious time, Plug Pedro. I just realized this cuts off my face, but that's okay. No one needs to see my face. It's all about the wrestlers today. Let's get into it. I'm not going to hold everyone back. I'm going to get directly into it. Like I said, keep commenting, keep asking questions if you want. This is the big one. Let's get into it. Of course, it is the 5-Star Grand Prix 2023. 20 people, 20 of the best in the world. 19 plus Ami Sarai. Just kidding. I'm actually very much looking forward to Ami Sarai's tournament this year. It's a big tournament for her because I don't think there's as much pressure on her, and I think she'll use it to get better. That's what these tournaments are used for. You have the top contenders, and then you have the bottom of the blocks who are going to use this to get better and better and better and better. That's why I'm so excited. The 5-Star Grand Prix. Let's get into it. So as you see here, the great art by my friend Doc. If you know, you'll see the incredible art all the way through here. But here we are, Red Stars block. We got Tam Nakano, Mayu Utani, Sayaka Kamatani, Shuri, Suzu Suzuki, Starlight Kid, Natsuko, Hazuki, Natsuko Tora, and Ami Sarai. And on the other side, we have Julia, Utami Hayashishita, Micah, Sayori Anu, first-time participant, Momo Watanabe, Mirai, Azumi, Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May, another first-time participant, and Hanan. Those are your two blocks. How did we get here? Now let's talk about how we got here. Of course, everyone was announced except for two. Those final two ended up being in the Blue Stars block. It was Sayori Anu and not Sayori Anu. It was Sayori Anu and Mariah May, the first participants, first-time participants, but it was Mariah May and Hanan who won the 5-Star Grand Prix Rumble to get their names into this tournament. They were my top two choices, but that, of course, bars the likes of Koguma from the tournament. Saki Kashima, who actually didn't even compete in the Battle Royal. She said, I'm out, I'm good, which I guess is good timing since she was sadly injured recently. She's had to miss the past few shows. Tekla, an obvious name that many people wanted in this year's tournament. So many names, so many great competitors having to miss out, which is very unfortunate. But like I said, this is the cream of the crop here, folks. This is the best of the best, 1 through 20. So many contenders, so many possible winners. It all comes down to one night on September 30th. We're going to go through the entire schedule. We're going to go through each competitor coming up, and that's how we go through this block. But in the chat, if you're in the chat, you're joining us for the show, let me know which block you're most looking forward to, because when it comes to this year's 5-Star Grand Prix, I think you can fight for either block as the strongest block. I don't think there's any weak blocks this year. So let me know in the chat, what is your preferred block as we head into the beginning event on June 23rd, this Sunday. I'm going to go through some comments here. Everyone's going crazy. We love to see it. We got widescreen. Hello. We got still a Stardom rookie. My first 5-star Grand Prix. Welcome, 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 AEW Women's Division blog. Welcome. I'm very happy to hear that. My fifth 5-star, Stefan, welcome. Eric, hello. Hashtag Momo 5-star. I hope I don't hurt your feelings later when I talk about it. I want to hear your dark horse pick to win. Oh, I will make sure you hear that. Hashtag Ami MVP. If she's the MVP, she either had an incredible showing, like unbelievable, unimaginable, or something went really wrong. 94th minute. Thank you. I appreciate the praise. Oh my gosh. Ami finals. No. See, this is respect Natsuko Tour. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited for what she's going to do this year. Ami 5-star. Yeah. I feel attacked. 6-star. Thank you so much for the super chat. Natsupoi. I think that's the best way. I think that's the best one. No Maysair makes me very unhappy. Maysair is doing incredible work outside, but I agree. She was the other person I was hoping for. She was in that big 3, then Tekla following, and so on and so forth. Widescreen picked the red block as a favorite. Plug Pedro has blue as a lot of faves, but red as a whole, or swole, sorry. The red block is strongest by far to call in. Very balanced between the blocks, in my opinion. I'm very much with you there. Red block has potential for better matches, but blue block has my 3 favorites to win the tourney, so is more interesting. Far red is big boy, blue is vibes. Red is more loaded, but I'm more interested in the blue. Blue, it's a tough choice, though. I don't know what I did. What did I do? All right, I'm not going to share this Ami stuff anymore. Nay. I have a lot of thoughts for the tournament. Tour is going to have. Who do you think Tam is going to choose as her opponent after she wins the tournament? You stopped me in my tracks, Tim. Congratulations. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. All rose red, everything. You know. And then red block supremacy, in my opinion. All right. Great comments. Appreciate it all, folks. Let's get to it. First up in our block breakdown here. Now, I want to give credit to where all these photos came from. Of course, Stardom's official account, Mastodon, great photo account if you want to see some of the best pictures from each Stardom show. Hanan's account and Mariah May X. Of course, Mariah May's account as well. But we start off with Ami Saray. So all the people in the chat that are yelling at me, hashtag Ami 5-star, hashtag Ami MVP, hashtag Ami something else. I don't know. Did someone say red champ? Either way, you said a lot. This is a big tournament for Ami Saray. I am obviously the one who is the tough guy on Ami Saray, but it's because I've seen the glimpses of what she can be. I saw it in the match where the New Eras, actually, no, not even the New Eras, where Shuri and Ami lost to Rose Gold. I saw it. I saw what Ami Saray can become very, very quickly, very, very soon. It's just, can we break it out of her? That's my question. Can we get it out of her? And I do think that this tournament and the people that she is going against will be able to get the best out of her. She works very well with truthfully, I think she works very well with wrestlers who aren't her exact skill set. Outside of Himeka, I think her best singles match in Stardom is the Himeka singles match on Himeka's retirement road. That is my favorite Ami Saray match because I saw it. But she has shown flashes. She has the likes of Natsupoi, who's going to make her look like $1 million. She has the likes of Natsuko Tora, which I'm very intrigued by with the powerhouse match. And of course, she has the likes of Shuri, Mayu, Iwatani, Tam Nakano, the tippity top, the very best Hazuki. There is so many people to get the best out of Ami Sourei. I think by the end of this tournament, we will be walking away with her in consideration for most improved. That being said, when it comes to points, when it comes to breaking down the standings, she doesn't stand much of a chance. Red Star's block is the most open block, in my opinion, because Blue Star's block has the two favorites, but I'm pretty focused on one. Red Star's block is very open. It's a chance to make a name for yourself. It's a chance to shine. It's a chance to become a star. We've seen Mina Shirakawa do it 2 years in a row. Look at where she is now. I don't think Ami Sourei is going to have the Mina Shirakawa tournament of 2022, but she can have it of the Mina Shirakawa tournament of 2021. She has the opponent. She has the final night opponent to get the best out of her. That is Shuri. I think by the end of this tournament, I'm going to be praising Ami Sourei much more than I ever have, because I do think she is set up for some good, solid matches. She's not on a lot of the big shows, which is good. There's not as much pressure for her to excel on those big live shows with the big Corkins. She has a chance to shine and a chance to make herself better on the smaller shows. I think she ends around 6 points in this tournament, probably gets a big win, maybe over Shuri on that final night. I'll pitch you my finals towards the end. But for who was asking of who my dark horse is in this tournament, Ami Sourei is not it. Let's see all the comments. There's so many Ami comments. Ami goat. I'm not no. Far if Ami balls out, I think she has a strong case for 2024 Cinderella. I don't think you're wrong there. I'm a bit late, but excited for this preview. Welcome, Kyle. Heartbroken remembering Himeka has retired. Yes, I'm sorry to remind the good folks of that. I'm excited for Ami's tournament. I think she'll do well. I agree. We also have Plug Pedro. All the Ami ice are out. And to be serious, I think she'll have a good tournament. I do think her stock will be raised competing in this tournament. I absolutely agree. I think that's what you want for Ami in this tournament, right? You want her stock to be raised. You want her to walk out of it better than she walked into it. That's what the 5-star is all about. That's what the 5-star does so well outside of tell the stories going on. She doesn't have any big stories going into it, but she's going to be able to tell stories along the way. Next up here, we have the returning Natsuko Tora, who, of course, missed the last 2 tournaments due to injury. She is in a big spot because ultimately, and I said this on Stardom Quest, if you want to go check out Stardom Quest, that 5-star preview, if you haven't already, make sure to go do that. But we talked about it. This is kind of like the make or break tournament for Natsuko. This very well could be her last tournament no matter what. This could be her last 5-star Grand Prix. And I know a lot of people are probably down on Natsuko Tora, and I understand that. But I've seen her have performances, have some matches where I respect what she's doing, right? I mean, the cage match, she had an incredible showing in that. Her and Utami worked together fantastically. That being said, she doesn't have a very big shot in this tournament. I'm just hopeful she isn't getting DQ'd 4 times. I want her to have the full matches. I want her to have the full performances. I want Natsuko to go out there and no matter what, have a great tournament. If it's her final tournament, so be it. I understand why. I brought up all the people we have waiting in the wings. We have a lot of young wrestlers also waiting in the wings. If this is her final tournament, she's going to go out there and do her best. She's going to show the type of powerhouse she can be. Is it going to be the best tournament of the best showing of the tournament? No. I'm not silly, but I do think she's going to shine, and that's what I'm excited for. Let's get to the comments. Yes, Tim, this will be available later. You can watch it on demand in the live section on YouTube on the Fight Game Media channel. Very intrigued with her this tourney. I think a lot of people should be. Natsuko is someone who can work. The heel stuff, I think, have thrown a lot of people off. I do. I do. I think the heel Uedo Tai stuff has thrown a lot of people off from how good she can be, but she can be great. I firmly believe that. Eternal E Pure, I'm really excited to see Turner in this tournament. I liked her Cinderella matches. More singles will be great. I think so too. She hasn't had many since coming back. The run with Ruaka did her very well, but can she handle it by herself? That's the question, right? Eventually, I'll probably get burnt at the stake if I gave my opinion on how Tora is going to do this tournament. Then say it. Tora is my dark horse for the tournament. If she goes wild, Tora, and doesn't mess about with DQ, she could have a very interesting 5-star. I think there is a conversation to be had with the rivalry with Utami that at least, I don't think she makes it to the final, but it would be an intriguing option based off of the recent history. Now, I see Tim already said it's super interested in seeing how Natsuko does from Joni, and I kind of see her making the finals just from the Utami story at play. So I will talk about the stories at play a little bit later, but you make a good point, Far. I know a lot of people don't care too much about Natsuko Tora, so we move on to Hazuki. Hazuki is maybe the most interesting case in this year's tournament, right? She went 7-0 to kick off last year. I had some people tell me, "Oh, she's gonna win she's gonna win her block." There's no way she loses her block. Well, not only did she lose her block, she lost every single match the rest of the way. Hazuki dropped one, dropped another, kept losing. It was, frankly, very upsetting as a Hazuki fan. Hazuki is in a spot this year where if they are going to play to the old 5-star finals, where they have someone get to the finals that isn't necessarily going to win, but can benefit from that spot, that's the spot Hazuki's in the Red Stars block. It's intriguing. She's in the Himeka spot from 2020, the Momo Watanabe spot from 2021. However, last year's 5-star, I think, marks the beginning of something new for the 5-star finals, and that is someone to match or to follow the story of the eventual winner, so that could hurt Hazuki's chances. That being said, if there's anyone I'm rooting for more than Hazuki, it's a very short list. I want her to succeed. I want her to kill it. She did last year in the matches. She was there on the final night before, getting cheated out of her win against Momo Watanabe and ultimately losing. I think everyone in the chat, I think everyone that listens to this can agree we want Hazuki to succeed. She kicks off the tournament against Mayu Iwatani. It's about as big of a start as you can have. However, her final night match, and this is important, is against Natsuko Tora. I'm not saying that is a match that doesn't matter, because it is. If you know their history, if you know the Uedo Tai history, that is a big match on that final night. But it is worth remembering. Hazuki's going to probably, for me, finish in the middle of this block. I think she's going to have some of the best matches of the entire tournament. I wish she was in the same block as Mirai to get a win over the Wonder Stardom champion, perhaps. But why not beating Tam? That's always a possibility. Get a World of Stardom title opportunity out of it. I think we're all rooting for Hazuki, but I know in my heart of hearts it's not going to go as well as I'd like it to. Let's see the comments now. My dark horse from Plug Pedro is Hazuki. Jeff Bugenhagen, Hazuki is winning it all. Far Hazuki needs something. Amen. Does she? I'm still not over what happened to Suzuki last year. It was a heartbreaker. But it was so perfectly done. The best of the best. I love Hazuki. She's going to be so sick in this tournament. Biggest throw of the century. Yeah, they got everyone. The Matt Ryan of Stardom. My hope is a Hazuki Utami final. It's one of the possible finals that I see. I'll give you my ultimate pitch in the end, but worth thinking about. She deserves it. That she does. Jeff Bugenhagen. She is one of the best in Stardom. Doesn't get pushed enough. Amen to that. Hazuki's going to have some of the best matches in the tournament guaranteed from Joni. 6-star Hazuki and Poya, my favorite match of the tournament until the last night last year. I know she'll show out again this year. Hey, they can run that back too. And beats Mayu to get the IWGP title shot. Sure feels like a possibility, doesn't it? I'm still upset we never got the Julia Hazuki World of Stardom title match, seeing that she beat Julia to kick it off. But nonetheless, we move forward. I'll talk about Hazuki plenty more later on. Next up in our competitors list is Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid in a very interesting situation this year because, frankly, the year's been quiet. After a very loud 2020, 2021 and 2022, Starlight Kid is kind of taken a step back, I think. Love Starlight Kid. Yes, she holds the title, but it's the New Blood tag team titles. We don't get enough New Bloods for me to remember that necessarily, but thankfully this nice picture has that. Starlight Kid's in a very interesting situation, and I think we can all agree. She has the big matchup on night one and in the final night. She faces Natsuko in a high-speed battle night one, and she's got running it back 3 years in a row. Match versus Mayu Iwatani. That one's for me. That one's for me, folks. They made that for me. Sorry if you're getting sick of it. No, they made that one for me. But Starlight Kid 2 years ago was a win away. She was a win away from the finals. Last year, not so much. She didn't have that same luck. This year, with how top heavy this tournament is, it's going to be tough. She's not in the generational struggle. She's not. There's wrestlers in her block that are part of that, and they're going to get the higher precedent. And I think that hurts her this year in this tournament. She's a future champion, no doubt about it. But I think 2023 is a year of her stepping back as we blast off into 2024. That match with Mayu, though, that's a big one. That is going to be a big one of what her next steps are. Much like last year, she got close, not close enough, couldn't beat Mayu. This year, could she go to a draw this time? That's what we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know yet. But that's what is the excitement for me with Starlight Kid in this tournament. I think she's going to have some great matches. I think her and Suzuki going to tear it up once again. But ultimately, it's not the best spot for her tournament this year. Let's see. Julia Coward kept ducking the Wild Heart. The slow face turn is underway for SLK. Absolutely. So SLK is just because she needs to step up and have a great run. Doesn't need to win it, but in it till the end. Third time's a charm for her to beat Mayu. That will always be my most anticipated match. She's not. She's not going to beat Mayu this year. I think we take one step closer. Big note, she didn't hit the Eternal Foe last year. That's her next step. Hitting that move on Mayu. What does that do? Right? She got the leg crusher, leg breaker, whatever you want to call it. She got that in. But she needs a big run, much like she had last year and the year before. I think she's going to remind a lot of people how great she is. Her and Azumi still have time on their side. They absolutely do. The thing about SLK is that she could randomly have the run of her life and finish above nearly everyone in the block. That is the thing about SLK. Starlight Kid is such an interesting person in this tournament because of how quiet her year's been, but you could see her boom, get her back into the focus. The generational struggle thing scares me a little bit just because, that's one of the main stories going on, but you're absolutely right. And SLK time, and again, has proven herself. Absolutely agree. Let's move on. Natsuko, one of the very best. Many big time matches coming up. It's very exciting. It's very much, I think, one of the most anticipated tournaments coming up just because of what she's been doing this year. Natsuko, I think a lot of people agree, she is destined for that Wonder of Stardom Championship. Now, does Stardom feel that way? We will see. But I think she is destined for that title. She is essentially the heir apparent to Tam Nakano. That is what she is. You may see it, you may not now. That is what she is. That is what they are setting her up to be. Night 1, she goes against Starlight Kid, and on the final night, she goes against Tam Nakano. Big time spots for Natsuko, who is just one of the best big match wrestlers in the world. You go watch that Chihiro Hashimoto match from Sendai Girls if you haven't already. One of the very best of the year. Big Match Poi is one of the best big match wrestlers, and she has so many big matches in this tournament. She has so many exciting matches in this tournament. I'm really excited to see where she lands. It's probably going to be in the middle of the block, truthfully, but she deserves a big opportunity and a big win, and that could come on the final night with Tam Nakano, possibly in contention as the World of Stardom champion. She deserves every moment she's gotten. She deserves every moment she's going to get. We have a lot of comments. Let me get back. We got Natsuko from 6-star. I think the majority of people will be on a similar amount of points, so I definitely see her in that at least. I think that was probably for Starlight Kid. The Poi, best wrestler in the world. Big match Poi, big match Poi. Poi Tribe rise up. Big match Poi. She always steps up for stuff like this. Her match with Suzuki earlier this year was crazy good. Let's get some Poi in the chat. We got a lot. Poise a tournament MVP contender and the next Wonder of Stardom champion, in my opinion. Poise either one of the best big match wrestlers will bring it in this tournament. She'll have tons of exciting matches. My big prediction: she beats Time final night, cost her the win. We got a lot of Poise signals here. I'll click every single one. And we got a big comment from 6-star. Natsuko is not only one of the best big match wrestlers on the planet, but one of the best wrestlers, period. She will be a standout, and sadly will only be in the middle of the block. She's the star. I think everyone agrees. We're very excited for what Natsuko brings to the table. Will it be a clincher? Will she be as important as we want on that final night? No. But facing Tam Nakano, she can get the big win. And that's almost just as good. Next up, Suzu Suzuki. You want my dark horse for winning this tournament? We have to go to the Red Stars block side for dark horses. And that is none other than Suzu Suzuki. The star prospect. I don't know. She's not even a prospect. The star of the generational struggle in many ways. She's the one that brought it together. She is the one who jumped over the Starlight Kid Azumi range to become part of this once upon a time called the Golden Generation. She's on the side of Sayaka Kamatani, Utami Hayashishita, Mirai. Who am I missing? Micah. Duh. She's on that side facing the veterans. She matters for a reason. She is one of the most important wrestlers in this tournament. She is a 5-star Grand Prix finalist. She has that potential. She's one of my 2 picks for Red Stars block finals. You'll see who my pick is later on. She's one of the 2, and I could see it. I think I could definitely see it. If you want to rise up her stock, if you want to tell the world what Suzu Suzuki's all about, you push her to the tippity top. She is a guaranteed World of Stardom champion. I'm not even joking here. She is a lock to be champion. There's a reason she signed on the dotted line. She left death matches behind. Yeah, money helps. But she is a star that they see very brightly. She wants to be the best wrestler in the world. She wants to be seen as the best wrestler in the world. The place she's going to do that is Stardom. She has amazing matches every single big show. Shuri on night 1, Sayaka Kamatani on the final night. That's your block decider, folks. She's going to be at the tippity top of this tournament all over again, much like last year. She was a win away from the finals. She went to a draw with the winner of the finals. She said in an interview today, all she was focused on last year was Julia. Now she's focused on everything. She's focused on everyone. It's going to be an incredible tournament for Suzuki. I'll give you my MVP later. She's a heavy favorite all over again. She was my MVP for non-winners last year. She's going to be a favorite for that again, and I think she has a chance to win the whole shebang. Let's get back to the comments. Bugenhagen, the second most likely to win this tournament behind Utami. 6-star. Suzuki's a future face of Stardom, Joshi, Puro, and pro wrestling as a whole. Eternal E Pure. A real beast right here. Suzu is going to be phenomenal. It's one of the favorites to win the block. If Julia was still champ, I would have more stock in her winning. However, I think she'll be in contention for the final 2024 5-star champion, though. I will say that when it comes to Suzuki, she is someone who can win any year. We have seen her plant the idea in our minds that match with Tam Nakano is coming, right? They keep teasing it. Does she only beat her in this tournament? That's very possible. But I think it's worth noting. I do. I think it's truly worth noting that she has everything it takes. She already pinned Utami once this year. She could do it again. That is true. Yes, she can. Suzuki may very well own this business one day. For 20 years old, she's pretty damn close, isn't she? But yeah, she is a favorite for the Red Stars block. My dark horse to win. Shuri. Isn't this picture amazing? Shuri is rested. She's been pretty stagnant. She's done nothing, right? Shuri has done very little outside of Wrestle Chihiro Hashimoto. Shuri is in the conversation. And I say she's in the conversation. You may look at the final night match, look against Azumi and Mirai, and you say, all right, that kind of takes her out. I see it as a potential win and wait the rest of the night. See if she can make it. Because you play to the story. If Utami Hayashishita were to win this tournament, or another option, Julia, or another option, Micah, there's one person that has a connection to all of them that makes sense, and that is Shuri. If they're playing to the story mold that they did last year with Tam and Julia in the finals, then why not Shuri and Utami again? Why not Shuri and Julia again? Why not Shuri and Micah? It's a story that makes sense. It is a interesting one to think about. She's going to have an incredible tournament. There's no question about that. Like I said, she's rested, folks. She's going to be going out there and having some of the best matches of her entire year. She's going to try and walk into Wrestler of the Year conversations. It's really, really going to be difficult, but she's going to try because that's what Shuri does. If you told me every single match of this tournament for her was out of this world, wouldn't be all too shocked. That's the type of wrestler Shuri is. She's going to finish high in the block because she's Shuri. She's going to have a respectable amount, and I think going into that last night, she has contention. Does Ami Sarai pull off the big upset and take it away from her? Ultimately, I do think that's what happens, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's get back to the comments. Venji would not be shocked at a Shuri Utami final, as no one should. Shuri can remind everyone why she held the red belt for a year. Here we got quiet year, but she's about to wake everyone up. Probably tournament MVP. Shuri is my tournament MVP in terms of match quality. She will kill it. Arrested. Shuri is my block winner. Unique. Shuri is one of the most protected wrestlers in the world. She did not drop many matches in there, so there's a good chance they are doing Shuri and Utami. Yes, feels like very natural. She's one of my top 2 picks in this block, assuming Suzu, of course, gets eliminated on that final night. Shuri is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. She'll show everyone why. She is the most dominant red belt champion of recent history, an absolute beast. Shuri is going to be a monster in this block. I cannot wait. And the training video, Shuri made me really excited to see her tournament. Like I said, she's it's like you put the animal in the cage and you're ready to release her, it's going to be an incredible tournament. She probably should be the favorite for MVP of this tournament because the matches are going to be absolutely incredible. She's going to get the best match out of Ami Sarai ever. I know it. I know it on that final night. Saya Kamatani. It would be the most typical Shuri thing to lose to. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Shuri under Saki Kana's training may be unstoppable. If she gets the revival once in a win, I will. That'll be it. That'll be perfect. We got Saya Kamatani up next. Saya Kamatani. I'll admit it. I'll say it now. She's my Red Stars block final favorite. There's something about Saya right now that's very interesting to me. And if you read her interviews, she's using this generational struggle as a leaping point. She wants to be the unwavering ace of Stardom. You don't just say that. You don't just say that, especially at a time where I'm, saying Utami's the ace, she's the new ace, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying, she's saying to me, but I know a lot of people feel that way about Utami. And Saya, the person who was left with Queen's Quest essentially, and watched Utami go on this trip, she has sat back and she has gotten better and gotten better. Had that great Wonder Stardom title reign that ended earlier this year, but she hasn't fallen to the wayside. Like, she has still mattered. The story with Utami instantly began right after she lost the title. If there is a story to be played here, it is Utami and Saya Kamatani in that final. But if there's another story to be played here, it is the golden rivalry of Saya Kamatani and Micah in that final. If those two are your favorites, Micah and Utami, to win this tournament, then I don't know how Saya isn't your favorite for the Red Stars block, because it just makes so much sense. It does. Saya Kamatani is someone I could see main event the end of your event. Now, I do take this into consideration. If she beats Tam Nakano on the first night and they run back that match at Stardom X Stardom, this potentially goes out the window. I realize that 100%. So then I would just go over Suzuki. But playing to the story, or Shuri, Suzu or Shuri, but playing to the story, I do think they have Utami and Saya lined up to tell something in the end. Again, I could be very wrong. I may be very wrong. But it's a story I'm very intrigued by. Saya Kamatani is going to be in contention on that final night. Like I said, she faces Suzuki on the final night. To me, that's your match decider. One way or the other, whether Shuri's waiting all night or not, that is your decider right there. And it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for what Saya does. She's been on a roll as of late. Let's see. Look, Flashpin Shuri might be the GOAT. We got Saya has the ability to stand out amongst this all-star block, and I think she'll accomplish it. Her match with Suzuki is particularly interesting. Their last two singles were my favorite. Saya versus Utami is my prediction for the finals, even though I know I'd be an emotional mess. Kamatani Micah was also the Cinderella 2021 final. Getting her win in the tournament final over Kamatani would be fire. Yeah, if Micah were to win, I think Saya would be my ultimate pick to win this. So take that for what you will, why I am very much favoring Saya for this block. Next up, we got the GOAT, the greatest, Mayu Iwatani, the IWGP Women's Champion, for those who may have forgotten. I know New Japan did. Mayu Iwatani is always an option. She's going to be at the top of the block. She's going to hopefully find some challengers for that IWGP Women's title. Hazuki lined up number one. She's already made the challenge. She wants to beat her. And she faces Starlight Kid on the final night. Mayu Iwatani isn't here to win tournaments anymore. She's here to tell stories. She's here to prolong stories. She's here to continue stories. There's a story on night one with Hazuki. There is continuation on Korakuen with Tam Nakano. There's a continuation on the final night with Starlight Kid. That's what Mayu Iwatani's spot is in all of this nowadays. And that's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly acceptable that that's where we sit with Mayu Iwatani. Because ultimately, Mayu Iwatani is proven. She's locked in. Like I said, the greatest. She doesn't need to prove anything, but she's going to have a great tournament. She has so many great big matches on the biggest shows of the tournament that are either live or Corkin. It's going to be a hell of a tournament. If she's the MVP, I never discount her for MVP. It's going to be a hell of a run. Hopefully, we get some IWGP Women's title matches out of this, but I won't get my hopes up. It's all eyes on that final night match with Starlight Kid. Does Starlight Kid at least get a draw? Does she beat her? We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, they're both in contention this year, even though my favorite match of last year's tournament was their match when they weren't in contention. I do hope that one of them is at least in contention on that final night. What do we got here? We got just imagine her and Utami staring each other down in the final. I know that's about Saya. Time will slow down for the moment. Kind of like when Julia and Suzu did on that final night. We got Saya stands, intensifies. The GOAT, reigning and defending IWGP Women's Champion. That's a good call. Everyone's about to get packed and smoked, icon style. I don't know where the losses are coming this tournament. So stacked. That's amen. Mayu is going to win every match just so nobody has a reason to challenge her for the IWGP title. That'd be a big win for me. I'm all in. That match. It's a great show. There's also a story to be played, right? Mayu and Utami in the final. Potential first time ever, 2-time 5-star Grand Prix winner. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Mayu Utami is the icon for a reason. Nobody has gotten to her level in terms of presentation or in-ring ability until Mercedes joined Utami now. Need her to defend that belt, though. It's not her fault. GOAT. Let's get some baseballs in the chat. Yeah, get some baseballs in the chat for the GOAT. But let me kick it over now to the reigning defending world of... She has defended the title once. The reigning defending World of Stardom champion, Tam Nakano. She suffers the same fate as any world champion in tournaments. I don't see her winning. She has a big final night match with Natsuko, big opening night match with Sayaka Kamatani, match with Mayu Utani, which is obviously very story driven. There's a lot here for Tam to unpack. She's going to be in contention probably on the final night, or at least in range. But that's it. I'm not entertaining the idea of she also, she got the double title this year. I don't need her being the first champion to win the 5-star. No. Love Tam. She's great. We're not doing that. Respect Tam lore. Tam lore supremacy. Oh, you spelled it wrong. Tam lore supremacy. There'll be so. You didn't have that many so much Tam lore during this tournament. Prepare for the Tam threads, folks. Yeah, I'm not even gonna wait. Like, I just don't see her winning, and she's gonna have a lot of stories to tell, and that's probably the most important part. We will be seated for all of Tam lore, double champ and first world champ. 6-star, that's enough. Tam doesn't need to win and loses help make the winner look like they could beat Tam till she bullies them out of the win. Yeah, Tam's a heel. Okay, done. If no one knows that by now, you know now. She's a heel. Let's get to the Blue Stars block. Hanan. This is a big tournament for her. She's not going to win a lot, but she doesn't need to win a lot. She's going to get some big, major wins in this tournament that are going to be very crucial and very important. I think she beats Mirai because I think the point of this tournament is to now elevate her to the brink of that Wonder of Stardom title conversation. They don't nickname her, she doesn't receive the nickname of Future Ace and not do anything with it. I know some people just say it, but Mirai acknowledges it online. Others acknowledge it online. Hanan's a big spot. They gave her the glow up of the year, right? They gave her new gear, new music. They gave her the whole entire brand new experience. They've grown her. She's ready to have some big time matches. She's away from stars. That's the most exciting part. She is completely away from stars. No Mayu, no Hazuki. Sink and swim with the likes of Julia, Utami, Micah. Sink or swim time. And I know she's going to succeed. She got better and better as last year's tournament went on. She's had the best match of her career since then. I was that midway through the tournament last year, maybe, but I do think that she is going to be an interesting name. She's not going to win a lot. She'll probably be at the very bottom of the block, but this is the match. This is the tournament where she grows. I want her to get a big win over someone. I don't know who that'll be. I'm pitching Mirai for a title match, but if it's not Mirai, that's okay too. Biggest heel in Stardom. That's about Tam Nakano. Damn right. Let's speed run this Blue Stars block so I can talk Natsuko. Take your time. We want to hear what you want to say. 6-star. Let me tell you, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna pause where we are, and I'm gonna have you join at the 6:30 mark. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, because I promised. Hana is going to have a standout tournament. Absolutely. Yeah, but how am I supposed to remember how to spell her name? Old music to new music. I actually really like the new music. I really like the old music too. But the old music felt like she needed to grow out of it, truthfully. I don't need to learn her name anymore. Now I know who she is. I think Hana will get wins over Momo, Azumi, and Mirai. Very possible. This tournament's Hana becoming an adult here. Yes, she's growing. This is her big next step. Let's go, young ace. Yes, let's go, young ace. We love Hana, and I think this is going to be a big tournament for her. I'm very excited for some of her big matches, and she kicks it all off with Micah on night one. So that should be an interesting way for her to go out there. Probably just a Michinoku driver number 2, and we call it a day, but we'll act like there's going to be more. Next up, Mariah May. I know a lot of Mariah May fans are listening to this. How can you not? Mariah May is great. We love Mariah May. This is a big tournament for her. She is the first international talent in a long while, I think. Since Bea Priestley? Is that correct? 2020? Was she in it 2020? I don't remember what Bea Priestley was doing. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't even lie. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know. But Mariah May's got a big tournament ahead of her. I think a lot of people have come to agree that she has been a standout this year. She has proven a lot of people wrong. She has shown a lot of people that she is a star in the making. She is someone who deserves these tag titles, right? Her and Mina instantly already making these tag titles raise back to the highest stakes. I don't know what her finish will be in this term because they're obviously and rightfully high on her. She's obviously one of the last 2 to get into the tournament. So we just kind of sit here and we wait and see. That's kind of how I feel about it. We wait and see what is she going to do in the end. I think she doesn't get too many points, but I think she gets more than people expect. That makes sense. I think she's gonna have some breakout performances. That Mina match got that circled. You got to have that one circled. I think that's going to be her match of the tournament. They're going to go out there trying to prove something that very night. I think it's going to be an excellent match. I think Mariah May is a bona fide superstar, like I said, in the making. I'm very excited for her tournament. I think everyone should be excited for her tournament. She's going to go out there with something to prove, as she has all year. I'm going to say maybe a shock 8 points, 2 big wins in there, perhaps. Let's see. Hanashi. This is something, anything. You made me say it on here, so that's something enough. Hananashi. I like it. The foreign and Twitter ace. Yes, the foreign ace. Shout out the foreign ace. Great nickname, by the way. She she is not only giving that to herself, but Rossi has as well. Hashtag May 5-star. Looking forward to her starting feuds with everyone in her block. Yeah, she's far. She's way ahead. Mirai May haters in the mud, 100%. Mirai will be lower points wise, but up there as someone who made the most of her tournament. She's absolutely deserving of her first inclusion. First foreigner since 2019, be returned since the 5-star 2020 final. That's right. Thank you. See, my brain doesn't work. That's why I have people in the chat. That's why we have people in the chat. May Sarah should be in her corner. Foreign ace. Mirai sets herself up here to become a long-term star. Talent gets a white belt shot from the tournament. I think so too. I hope the wrestlers don't see her and Hana as nights off. So I will say about because nights off are a real thing. They have stretched this tournament out to a level where I have a lot of hope that we don't see a lot of nights off. Now, I can't tell you if Nakano is going to take nights off or not. She likes to do that sometimes. It's a 5-star special for Tam Nakano, especially. But I think Mariah May is going to do her best to make sure they can't. And I'm hopeful they don't either. There's some you could circle, coming off a big schedule. That may be it. But I think the foreign ace is going to make sure everyone's working. She'll finish mid-table to set up some tag team matches. Mirai beats Suzu, Mayu, and draws me. Wrong block. She could beat Mirai. I think she beats Mirai. Azumi night 1. Maybe Momo. People like that. She wants to throw May in the sea. Imagine what she'll do in the 5-star. Her and Julia might be generational. Yeah, I mean that's a lot. That's going to be a lot of hatred, a lot of craziness. But let's move along here. Mina Shirakawa. What a year it's been. And this is probably where we'll take our little pause because I promise 6-star get on here before dinner time because it is late. I'm starting the show late. I admit that. So everyone that's checking this out, thank you again so much. Hopefully it's early where you are. But like I said, Mina Shirakawa. What a year it's been. Wonder Stardom champion. Gossip Stardom champion. Just unbelievable matches. Her match against Natsuko is still my top Stardom singles match from this year. Just love it. Just absolutely love it. Love what they did against one another. I think Mina has set herself up where we're no longer sitting here thinking, oh, how is she going to have a breakout tournament? We're now sitting here thinking, can she be MVP? At least that's where I am, because it's time to respect what Mina Shirakawa is all about. On the first night, she faces Utami Hayashishita, the returning Utami, mind you. That's a huge spot. On the final night, she faces Sayori Anu. A lot of history there. Lots to talk about there. It's a big one for Mina Shirakawa. I couldn't be more excited. I never thought I'd say this. If you told me a year ago I was sitting here saying I can't wait for Mina Shirakawa's tournament, I would have probably chuckled. I would have laughed a little bit because there was no way. There was no way I was feeling that way. But now, it's a different time now. She's had that great of a year. I'm very excited for her tournament. She has matches with Mariah May, Utami, the whole block, obviously. Her match with Julia, that was very interesting last year. They went with the technical side. There's a lot of matches to be excited about when it comes to Mina Shirakawa. If you were looking for the dark horse of the Blue Stars block, her, I guess, if she gets that payback on Tam at the year-end event, I don't think she's winning. But I'm just trying to throw some darts at the wall, give you an idea. I think Mina has a really good tournament, match-wise, performance-wise, and points-wise. I think Mina should be respected heading in. But let's read the comments, and then I'll 6-star jump in here, and then we'll get back to what we were talking about. Do we consider 11:30 p.m. early? No, we do not. You can't slander her anymore. Listen, I sit here and I respect that Mina Shirakawa. I was wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. She proved me wrong time and time again. Now she's someone I want to see in every big match possible. I'm happy I was wrong. The people's champ. 1:30 a.m. for me, but I'm not working till Monday, so we up. Thank you for listening. Mina MVP of 2023. I think she's in till the last day and loses due to her tiebreakers. Mina is going to put up 50 every night. That's a good one. Mina was my pick to win before Stardom Sunshine and the cage match happened. Yeah, things got crazy, didn't they? Just think of where Mina was last year to now. She's reinvented herself to the best. Immensely excited for Mina's tournament. She upped her stock immensely in the tournament last year. Absolute contender for finalists, in my opinion. Amazing how much she's grown. Absolutely earned her success. Mina's match against Utami is the block match I'm most looking forward to. So we're win the tournament and get Waka dancing, the best result. There's a lot of excitement, right? There's a lot of understandable excitement for Mina Shirakawa. I couldn't be more excited for Mina's tournament, but now I have a guest. We'll get back to the rest of the Blue Stars block right after this, and I'll hopefully get a few more guests on. I apologize if anyone needs to jump in, jump out. Thank you again for continuing to listen. We got Diego, what's up? Mina getting revenge on Tam is understandable if she won. It would be an exciting final now, wouldn't it? But let me bring in 6-star. Welcome back. Wait, let me switch that. And let me I'll just put Natsuko in the middle for 6-star. 6-star, welcome back to the 5-star Joshi show.
Happy to be here. It has been far too long. I have been wanting to be back on the 5-star Joshi show for a long, long time. For anyone who does not know, I am unfortunately an academic, a scholar of sociological study, an academic of the liberal arts. However, I'm here to talk about the greatest, most underrated professional wrestler of all time and my favorite loser who has my heart.
Oh wow,
Natsuko. Now listen, I love Natsuko. Here's the thing. When I say the biggest loser, I don't mean this in any disrespect towards my queen, right? Because you have said it, Dylan and Alex have said it on Stardom Quest. Natsupoi is the world's favorite loser because time and again she delivers in her matches and she always comes this close until she's like not close at all and absolutely is just destroyed, decimated beyond belief and recognition. And that's what I love about her, okay? Not only is she the best underdog and the best wrestler, she's the best big match wrestler on the planet. But I'm not just here to talk about Natsupoi. I'm actually here to talk about specifically the 5-star Grand Prix a bit, give some of my thoughts specifically relating to Natsupoi. I will say, for everyone here, a match that I've heard, and I mean I've heard nobody talk about. Not a single mention.
I haven't got to that part yet, but that's fine.
Not a single not that part. No.
The part where I name matches that I'm most excited for? No.
Oh, my fault. Big part. Now you didn't. Hey, listen. I listened to the Stardom Quest preview. You had opportunities to. So did Alex. So did Dylan. So this is a complete call out to the three pillars of Joshi media, right? This is a call out. The fact that no one, and I mean no one, on the internet is talking about Shuri Natsupoi in the Red Stars block as a potential not just tournament match of the year, but a match of the year period is asinine. Because, and like this is me setting all of my Natsupoi stand bias aside, right? Which I'm fully aware that I contain, right? Think of this. Your rested, most dominant World of Stardom champion versus your greatest underdog, who the audience knows is realistically not going to win, but every single time she's in these positions, she gives you that spark, that joy, that flame that you need to believe in her.
Can I explain?
Every time. I'll let you explain, sure.
My favorite two wrestlers are wrestling the same day. Mayu and Suzu wrestle the same day.
And that's a great match. Absolutely deserves all of the praise that it's getting and that I've heard you and
I'm just giving you a reason of why it wasn't commented on.
No. And that I understand that you have a reason, invalid reason, because Shuri Natsupoi is the match, I promise you all, the match to be looking forward to as a match that I think it shouldn't be underrated. It shouldn't be a dark horse match. These are two wrestlers that everyone knows are world-class caliber, right? But as we've said, Natsupoi is not someone that people are looking for as someone who's going to win. It's just she's someone that people are looking to have an amazing standout tournament as she did last year. And I think that she's going to continue to do with every opportunity that they give her. And Shuri has had a very quiet and restful year. I think both Shuri and Natsupoi individually, people are saying they're going to have these great, amazing tournaments, and I don't disagree with you. They're two of my favorite wrestlers on the planet, not just in Stardom, not just in their blocks. And I just think it's a little disrespectful. It's a little disrespectful that match hasn't been talked about to the extent that I have talked about it myself in private behind closed doors, because I did just recently come back to wrestling Twitter.
So we got a lot of comments. We'll go through them because they were ready. Some people said, Veggie said, "Oh boy, here we go." You were welcomed back though. James Carlin, Natsuko isn't winning. Give it up, bro.
Hey, James, listen to me. Look at me. I'm looking. Where's my camera? Is that my camera?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at me. Yep. I'm looking at James. Everyone else, you can look, but this is to James. Cry, cope, seed even, because Natsuko doesn't need to win the tournament to be the winner of the tournament. John Cena told Cody Rhodes, a fraud, by the way, nothing compared to Natsuko. John Cena told Cody Rhodes, you don't have to have the world championship to be a world champ. And Natsuko, this is a message directly to you and also to James, because fuck you, James.
Whoa, hey, we're on YouTube.
Screw you, James.
Oh, jeez.
My apologies. Sorry, I get really passionate about Natsuko.
I could tell.
Natsuko doesn't need to win the tournament.
James threw tomatoes at you. It's fine.
Hey, James can cry all he wants, bro. Not my problem. Natsuko is just that girl, bro. She's that
Anyways.
girl. Beyonce wrote a song about her.
I feel like I'm being preached to.
You are.
We got Dream in the chat. Hello, Dream. Welcome.
Shout out, Dream.
Welcome. We go from Tam Lore to Poi Lore. I'm not.
One can only hope.
All right, don't lie. We're not doing that.
You're
a great shout. To be fair, Poi versus Shuri is going to be a banger. We got Getting the Word of Natsuko preached to us by Big Six.
Big Poi and Big Six out here today.
We got a Natsuko seminar going on right now. Shuri going to throw Poi through the KBS Hall glass. That's pretty funny. That's a good one.
That's pretty funny.
Creation Natsuko isn't winning yet.
Here's the thing. Listen. I think people misunderstand when I talk about I love Natsuko and her position on the card as it is. Like, I don't need it to change. I'm happy with what I'm getting. I just think that the native fan base specifically loves Natsuko, and I genuinely do think it's a booking mistake to not put her higher on the card. And I don't think that's a hot take. Like, I don't need her to win the tournament, but a fact is she should be presented as someone who should be winning the tournament, and that's a fault on Rossi, because let's not forget that Natsuko won the most popular wrestler of Stardom last year as someone who won almost no big matches.
I do want to remind you, there's a lot of wrestlers that are contenders, to be fair, but I get it. To be fair, Poi was dropping the F-bomb at Tekla, so you're forgiven. That's fair. The name Natsuko has lost all meaning at this point. It's been said so many times. Yeah, I did hear Natsuko a lot. No, don't even say a word. Don't even say a word. James is just mad that Poi clears that fraud SLK.
Talk that talk.
There is disrespect.
Talk that
be
talk.
Happening.
SLK is mad, bro. SLK is mad.
I'm already a Poi-ite and fully indoctrinated long ago. People will see their error in not joining. The tribe is real. This is great. Love when you guys did the All Elite cast. Glad to see you back, 6-star. And the passion is infectious. Love you, 6. So the reason I am having any guests on, and you're going to make sure I only have so few on, thanks a lot, is that I want to hear the predictions. I want your MVP, block final, winner, or finals, not block final. So give me your MVP, your finals, and your winner in whichever fashion you prefer.
Okay, so putting Natsuko to the side, obviously, because that would be my MVP regardless, right?
Of course.
I think thinking of the way that the matches are going to play out, thinking about the way that the tournament is being booked, I know that it's a very safe choice. I know that it's not no one is going to be this is not groundbreaking hot take, but I genuinely think Suzuki by a country mile will be the MVP of this tournament. I think that last year she was put in a great position to do so, and she did. And I think that she's going to continue that, especially now that pen is being put to paper. Suzuki is taking every single opportunity she's being given by the reins, and she's going to continue to make that the case for this tournament. And I really think that with the performance she gives us this year, that 2024 can be her year, not just to win the whole thing, but to really, really, really take her place as as a member of the upper echelon of the Stardom card. And I think that has already begun throughout this year. I think this started with last year's tournament. I think this year's tournament is going to be the thing that really pushes her into that top slot.
And block final?
Block final, for red block, I'm going to put Suzu Suzuki and Sayaka Kamatani. Again, not a hot take at all. It's also, I think it's going to go to Sayaka Kamatani, because my blue star block final is, for me, actually, is Utami and Mina Shirakawa, because I think there's no way you don't give Mina a good tournament after the amazing year she's had.
So it's between those two for you. Okay.
Those are my two block finals. And my main finals is, for me, it's Utami Saya. It's the story that's been told. It's the story to be told. It's the woman who's been saying for a long time, especially recently, that she wants to be the ace versus the woman who, quite frankly, is going to be the ace of Stardom. Utami Hayashishita is on top of the world right now. I think that far and away, this is her tournament to win. This is her red belt to take back, and 2024 is going to be the year that is 100% solidified as Utami is the ace of Stardom. And I am so excited to see what Utami is going to do. I've been waiting.
She already is.
Utami to come back.
She already is. And you know why I say she already is? Because they sent her to America.
You're right. I think.
Who did they send to America in 2018 for Ring of 2019 for Ring of Honor? It was Mayu. Either way, it was Mayu.
Right. No, you're right. And I think when I say to beat, she will be the ace. I think that they have Stardom, like Rossi has shown us, this is the person that we're putting this is the one we're putting all our eggs in her basket. And I think they're showing us this. I think that the tournament win and the eventual taking back of the red belt is going to be I'm the. It's when she's going to claim that title. Like, I'm the ace of this place. I am Stardom. I am not just the World of Stardom champion. I am this promotion. And anyone who wants to come into this upper echelon, who wants to prove themselves not only as one of the best in this roster, one of the best in the world, is going to have to come through me first. Utami's that girl. I was Utami 5-star last year. I was hopeful that she would come back last year. And I was...
Yeah, I was right.
You were right. I know. I admitted
Just saying.
I admitted it by the end. I admitted that it was Julia's tournament to win. Okay.
It was Julia. Yeah. So, okay. Final remarks before I let you go, because I do have to finish everything else, and then hopefully get some more people on here.
And I have to cook dinner.
Yeah, that's important. That's just as important, I'd say. So, any final remarks? I'm sure Natsu will be involved. So, floor is yours.
I've got to say is. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me here again. It's always a pleasure to talk graphs with you. Always a pleasure to talk Stardom with you, specifically the greatest wrestling promotion on the planet, bar none. For everyone watching, I truly hope that you will take this 5-star. To anyone who's newer to watching Stardom, take this 5-star to really familiarize yourself with this roster for yourself, not just what I'm saying, although what I'm saying is most important. Scott, obviously second. No offense, Scott. But I remember when I first started watching Stardom, the 5-star really helped me understand and love this promotion. Obviously, my favorite wrestler was not even in Stardom at the time. Again, Natsuko is someone who I've liked for a few years now. But take the time. This is the best tournament of the year. You're going to have so much fun watching the wrestling. Win, lose, or draw, I promise you will find your favorite in this tournament. And also, I promise you pay attention to Natsuko. Like, I promise you, pay attention to Natsuko.
You have directly caused me not to want Natsuko to win purely out of spite. Love the passion. And 6-star needs a big poi match. Fathead poster in the background. Big match poi. We gotta get 6-star one of those poi cheering towels.
Please.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Pay attention to Natsuko. I promise you, she will deliver. She will. So amazing. She single-handedly has kept my passion for wrestling alive in these times.
My friends aren't really wrestling fans, and they enjoy watching Stardom with me. We'll have so much fun with this tournament. Yes, you will. But 6-star, thank you so much. It's been a long time. Yes. Go follow at 6-star until it's deleted again. Yeah, you laugh because I'm right.
Wrestling fans don't deserve me. They don't deserve me.
That's true. Amen. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for coming back on the show. Go follow at 6stardom if you want to hear about Natsupoi. That's the best place to go. So I'll send away and we'll get back to this, starting with Starting with, I had to get rid. I almost forgot. I could tell the pose was on purpose. We get back with Azumi. This is a big one, right? Azumi, where is she now placed in the world of Stardom? Right? What place is she going to be? Azumi has a very big tournament here because we've watched Suzu come in. And I think some of us, there was a conversation at one time, maybe Starlight Kid had surpassed Azumi in a way, at least in the rankings of Stardom. To me, they got back to pretty equal ground after a year-long high-speed title reign. But Suzu walks in, and she's already over both of them. So now Azumi goes into a tournament against some of the best in the world. She's obviously one of the best in the world, with something to prove. And I think one of the most important parts of this tournament overall, this isn't just for this block, this isn't just for Azumi. Overall, is you get Azumi a big Wonder of Stardom title match out of this tournament. She showed the world in that IWGP Women's Championship match what she was all about earlier this year with Suzuki and Mercedes Moné. But I think many will agree it was Hazuki who got a lot of the shine there. She needs a big title match, a big Wonder of Stardom title match. She's earned it. She deserves it. Have her beat Mirai. That can be her big win. She also has Momo Watanabe on the final night. That's going to be crucial. That's going to be huge. Could Momo cost someone else on the final night, or will that match have very little meaning to it? I think, unfortunately, that is the reality. But it's a big tournament for her. I'm hopeful for Azumi. I really am. She's one of the most fun wrestlers to watch in the world. She's the wrestler I would show anyone to get them into Stardom. Truly. Because I think ultimately, she is someone who just deserves the world. She really is. So, does she get the big win over Mirai? That's my question. I will be having hopefully another guest join me soon because I know it's late, so I want to try to cycle them in here. But let me know your thoughts about Azumi and her tournament here. We have a lot of bye poise, bow down to Azumi. Azumi needs to be up there with Suzu. She's a vet. She is a veteran of this tournament. Dream, I think you absolutely hit it on the head there. I think she deserves to be in that conversation. I think she has an understanding of who she is. I think she has an understanding of where she's going. But I hope that at least we get that Mirai win. Venji, I don't see her gathering many points. However, with Suzu coming in, I feel she will wrestle with a point to prove 100%. Azumi going to get some big upsets, I think. I'm thinking Mirai and Utami. Where Azumi does benefit in this tournament is that she is the spoiler. There's no Saki Kashima, there's no Kogama, there's no Fukigen Death. She is the biggest spoiler in the tournament, and that should benefit her to get some major wins. I see Azumi, MVP of Blue Block. Azumi, man, I want her to do so well. She's part of the future of not just Stardom, but wrestling. And let's go, Azumi. I want Azumi to beat Mirai and get a white title shot, maybe even win it. I don't think she'll win it because Mirai just won the belt, and we don't want to keep flip-flopping that title, but I do hope she gets the title shot. But yeah, I sent out, if everyone wants to check their chats that I have been able to talk to so far that knows they're coming on, make sure to check that out. All right, so I'll just do it now. Hopefully the microphone's working this time. Venji, welcome to the show. All right, it works. See, yes, it did.
Thank God.
Yes, it did. So I obviously made sure we get you back here on this. Which one did you talk on last time? Was it
I did the review for Grand Queendom.
Grand Queendom?
I
say Dream every time. You're correct. You are correct. So welcome back. I want to hear your thoughts, obviously, on the tournament. I know you're not going to give us the whole Natsupoi treatment. You can always give us the Mayu treatment. That's very respectable.
I think that's been done too much.
I would never cut you off from that, but you're talking to someone that does it anytime she has a big match, which isn't enough. But What are you most excited about for this term?
It's tough, right? Because there's just so much in this tournament. I mean, everyone's gonna be talking about Utami going in. I mean, what is she still in the US right now?
She was as of yesterday. She could have come home by now. I'm sure she has by now.
So she's gotten. I mean, she's on Ring of Honor tonight.
Well, yes, but that's not live.
But everyone's going to be
spoiler alert, everyone.
Big shock. Big shock.
She could have been there last night. Just saying.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's going to be talking about her going in.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's about the results in this tournament. I just think it's about how people show, like the performances, the matches. I see Mina getting a lot of spotlight, a big spotlight. Like, she was my pick to win before the whole cage match. I don't see it happening now, but I think there's a lot more. It's a lot more contentious than people are making it out to be.
Sure, I agree.
Like, I know everyone's on the Utami train. I think I am too.
Some people may have talked myself into it before the cage match, so it's okay.
But I wouldn't be shocked if other people won. I would not be.
I wouldn't either, and I think that's the excitement, especially of the way they've set the final night up. I think there's matchups that could obviously be deciders, right? You have Mirai and Micah, you have Julia and Utami, Mina and Sayori and New. I think that can be a potential block decider. Mayu Utani versus Starlight Kid, Sayaka and Micah versus Suzuki, Tam versus Natsuko, even Shuri versus Ami. I'm not gonna count that out just yet. So since you don't have the Natsuko praise to give out, I will ask, I will get to the point, I guess, because I know it's late where you are.
Very late.
So we'll keep it close, mostly because I want to finish this preview eventually. But give me your MVP pick, your finals pick, and your winner pick in whichever order you prefer.
All right. I'm going to say Micah for the MVP.
Okay.
Purely because I don't see her even really coming close to winning. I don't.
Wow. Tough.
But I feel like she will have standout matches.
Sounds like Micah.
She's probably going to be my MVP. Red Stars. Okay. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked if Natsuko Tora was in the finals.
She is a reasonable one based on the story, yes.
I mean, you had the way she got injured versus Utami. That happened. Yep. The whole thing is, when the blocks got announced, I was shocked she wasn't in the same block as Utami. It almost feels intentional.
Yeah.
Because you've had this whole story build between her, specifically her and Utami, for her not to be in the same block.
Absolutely.
Feels like a choice. But we've also got Shuri. That would be a safe pick.
It would be an understandable pick on Stardom's end.
But I'm going to stick with my guns and say Tora because I want to be different.
Okay. All right. I respect it. And should I assume Blue Stars is Utami?
It is Utami, but I wouldn't be shocked if Julia. I wouldn't be shocked if Julia won the whole thing.
I pitched that in my written preview for a reason. I think it's just been overlooked that Julia, getting the title back against Tam wouldn't be crazy.
And also Mina's up there. I mean, she has the whole thing with Tam.
Tam really controls this damn thing, huh?
Tam controls everything right now.
Yes, that she does. Venji's the GOAT. We got a Venji is the GOAT in the chat.
Thank you. But here's the thing with Tam. She lost the white belt and was in the main event of she closed the show.
Oh, I know. I know. I tried to forget.
But I will go with an Utami Tora final with Utami.
All right. Yeah, it wasn't.
Tora's not winning.
Yeah, that's the one thing. If Tora gets to the final, she ain't have a chance. That does fit the Hameka Momo thing, like I said a few years ago. And then your winner Utami, your finals Tora, and Utami, and your MVP is Micah. And what's your number one match, most anticipated match?
Oh Lord.
See, I can bring in extra questions because again,
I didn't
no
rant about
Natsupoi
Poi the whole
praise.
time.
Hey, I love Natsupoi, but
She's great. But I've
there's
been
a level there
turned
that
off
I'll
now.
never match.
You
You have to pick one match you're most looking forward to. Not to put you on the spot, but this is absolutely putting you on the spot.
The safe pick for me will always be Mayu SLK. That's the safe pick. But there's so many this tournament. It's basically impossible to pick one.
It is. But all right. Well, I know it's late for you. I'm happy I was able to get you on here. I'll have you on for a longer period of time. Sometimes there's a lot of 5-star shows to review. So that feels like a good spot somewhere down the road. But where can people find you?
I don't really do social media other than Twitter. So VenjiPW on Twitter, that's me.
Yeah, so
I post silly things
on Twitter.
On Twitter
ever crashes, we're doomed. We'll never be able to find Venji again. Damn it.
It's not much of a loss.
Hey. It's a loss from me. But thank you so much. I need to share my Mayu love with people,
Yes.
And you get it. You get it. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening this late, obviously. And I wish you a fine rest of the night. Hopefully you listen to the rest of the show. But if you can't,
you too.
Always video on demand.
I'll be there.
All right. Venji, so long.
See you in a bit.
All right, let's get back to this. I'm not going to have any guests now until I finish this. We're an hour and 22 in. We got a lot to get through that I want to get through because, like I just got rid of the entire thing. That was embarrassing. That's called technical difficulties. But we got Mirai. We're going to talk Mirai real quick here. We had 2 comments. Venji is the homie, and that also helps Oedo get back on the right direction since they have been middling lately. All right, Mirai. Mirai is a very, very intriguing wrestler because she's not going to win, but she needs to do a lot in this tournament. One, she's going to get contenders out of this tournament, potentially contenders for or a contender for Stardom Dream Queendom. And she needs to continue establishing herself and getting on a roll, right? When she won the title, we started to feel that rise from Mirai. Now she needs to have another great 5-star Grand Prix like she did last year. And I fully believe that she will. She has an opening night match with Momo Watanabe, which is very interesting, and a final night match with Micah. I think this is where we are going to see her break out once again in these big time matches. She has matches with Julia to look forward to. Match with Utami is one of the more exciting matches of the tournament. I think I'm really looking forward to that one. So Mirai is very simple. She's a champion. She's not going to win, but she's going to get some contenders. She's going to get some big wins, and she needs to have a killer tournament, I think. Obviously, I'm a big fan of hers. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. What was my Mayu moment? I probably did have a Mayu moment. That happens a lot. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Mirai to do the double. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary. We are not having a third double champion. Oh, you mean Cinderella and no, that's fair. I hope she looks good and shows us America's more character. I believe in Mirai. I know what she's capable of. She is great. Trust me. She's going to prove it to a lot of people. And Mirai versus Micah is going to be superb. Very well said. But yes, Mirai's going to have a hell of a tournament. Let's move forward here. Momo Watanabe. If you listen to Stardom Quest, you know how I felt. I agreed with Alex. I agreed with Dylan, or we were all in agreement that this is a big time, almost make or break tournament for Momo Watanabe. We need to know where she's at in this character, in this moving forward, because this year has not been that great of a year for her. I'll stand by that 2022 was a great year for her as a trios and as a tag team wrestler, but the single stuff was hit or miss. This is a big year for her. She's not gonna get a lot of wins, I don't think. But there's a reason she's still presented where she is. There's a reason, you're announcing her ahead of the Wonder Star champion when you're announcing the tournament. Like, those things still mean something. They know she still has a high standing in this company. It's just a matter of, will she deliver? Will she get a chance to shine? Will she be willing to shine? You look at the schedule. She has the big matches. Mirai and Azumi on the final nights, or the first and final nights. She has a big time match with Utami that I think everyone has their eyes on. That is the big singles match we've been waiting for. This is big. Now, what is worth mentioning is Momo was obviously another wrestler left out of the generational struggle matches. I do think that is important. She hopefully has a determination when she goes out there this time around that she wants to be one of the best again. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it is kind of a make or break moment for her, and at least her in this character. Something's gonna have to give. Hopefully it's her delivering big time. I expect probably 8 points or so. Not a very strong tournament, but she'll get a big win here or there. Maybe she's always an option to beat Mirai, because she can beat anyone. Last year she beat Julia, Mayu, and Hazuki to close out her term. She can beat anyone. It's just a matter of, will she show up to do so? We got Momo finishing in the mud. Finishes bottom. No, she will not finish below Hana. That's not happening. Let's not sleep on Mirai versus Momo. Night 1. Agree. Hashtag Momo 5-star. Let's go. The Mayu moment was when you crashed your screen. I did do that. That is true. A motivated Momo could be MVP. That is exactly right, man. I'm very happy you said that. The problem is, we don't know if we're going to have that. That's why it's make or break. I need to see that motivation back, because motivated Momo is one of the best in the world. She's beating your faves. She can't beat my fave. They're not in the same block, but if they were, Mayu and Momo would deliver. I believe that. I think this is when she finds her fire again. She regains the passion she seems to have lost. Mirai versus Momo isn't a bad shot for Mirai's first defense. No, it is not. Momo moving to OT hasn't really worked out. To be honest, Tora, SLK, and now Arena. I love the Black Desire team, but I agree. Still in Kenta 23 Momo or Kenta 2013 Momo. That's I knew you would just show up to hurt Momo and my enjoyment of. No, we're not. I'm not showing that 94 Momo. Hashtag Momo 5-star. Momo, like I said, sink or swim time. It's important. It's important. But let's move on here. Saori Anu, of course, first-time competitor, very intriguing wrestler in this tournament. I think it's not crazy to expect a lot of points for her. It's also not crazy to expect being in contention on the final night. Saori Anu is someone that Stardom has quickly got behind. She has main evented a pay-per-view. She is challenging for the tag titles. She's already won the Goddesses of Stardom titles. She is someone that they are fully behind, and rightfully so. She's come in and felt like a star, looked like a star, been a star. The Matsupoi match, it was a swing and a miss for me, but overall, she's been great. I also believe that everyone should check out my interview with Saori Anu. That's over on Fightful.com. But that's not actually my comment. I want to know, what do the folks think about Saori Anu's tournament? I think she's going to have a very much. I don't know if it's going to be a star-making performance, because I think she's already a star. But if you don't know if you don't know a lot about Sayori, you're still getting used to Sayori. I think this will open a lot of eyes for the Stardom only fans who are still on the fence about Sayori. She's going to go towards that final night as a contender. She's going to have some incredible matches, kicking off with Julia, finishing off the tournament with Mina Shirakawa. That's big time, potentially main eventing that first night. They are the top billing for the Blue Stars block, a Blue Stars block that features Utami versus Mina. Again, that means a lot. So should be a tremendous, tremendous showing from Sayori New. Like I said, finishing at the top. Probably not a winner, but she will be in contention. Let's see what we got for comments. We got very excited for Anu. Where is Dylan? Dylan disappears sometimes. Azumi Army. I'm excited for Anu's matches. She's going to have a great run, in my opinion. Anu versus Mina will be an excellent match. Anu is going to whoop a lot of blank in this block. She feels like the blue block Suzu to me. She's going to show out and prove she's that girl. I think that's a good call. Dark Horse MVP candidate. One thing I forgot to mention while I was on, I'm very worried about the potential Rossi specials having possibly too many Tomo draws. So I'll say this. We were all worried about that last year in 157 matches. They did not happen nearly all that much. Not too worried. We'll get a handful, but I'm not too worried. They like to save those too for the final night. But Sayori New going to be a threat. Now we have Micah. I wish I had Peps for this. I wanted the full Peps, delivery for this. Because I think that would be best set. Get the full Micah respect wagon. Dylan, I'll have you on in a few minutes. I just want to hopefully finish up this Blue Stars block. Then you can help me break down some of the schedules and whatnot. But Micah is a threat. Micah is a serious contender this year. The question is, do you see her main eventing Stardom Dream Queendom? Now they're all yearly events, I guess, but the second biggest show of the year. Big year-end show. Do we see Micah main eventing that show? That's my question, specifically against Tam. They don't have the history, story, anything that connects like others do, I think. And I think that's the conversation worth having with Micah. Because Micah's going to be, in my opinion, in contention. You give her that match with Mirai in the final night. Ultimately, could that be her beating Mirai and getting a Wonder Stardom title match, possibly at Dream Queendom? Stardom Dream Queendom? I wouldn't think that's too shocking. She's going to have some killer matches. I think Venji said it well. A good choice for MVP in this tournament. I don't think we want to disrespect what Mike is capable of in this tournament. I think she's going to have an incredible run. And I'm very excited for a number of those matches. That Julia match, big circle on it, right? They're building to that with the generational struggle stuff. So I'm very excited. I think Micah will be in contention come that final night, and I think she will probably fall short. I think maybe Mirai takes her down, or they go to a time limit draw, something of the sort, or just maybe, tiebreaker destroys her in the end. She gets the win. She needs an Utami loss, she needs an Utami loss. Utami Julia maybe go to a draw. That's a possibility as well. But I'm very excited for the Micah tournament. There's always been less than 10% draws in the 5-star. So Dylan is predicted 4. I predicted 10 of the 90-ish. We need the GOAT Peps for the Micah preaching. We got 6-star earlier. That's true. Huge contender for Blue Block winner. Can't wait for the Julia match. If Utami doesn't somehow get to the finals, I want Micah to do it and win so badly. Micah in the top 4 for overall finalists. Absolutely. I feel like this is her breakout tournament that elevates her to main event level, but she finished 3rd in Blue Block. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair, man. I think that's very well said. A lot of Michinoku drivers are about to be served up in the blue block. That is for sure. Could Micah dedicate the tournament to making and get to the finals? She could. She could do whatever she wants. I don't think she gets to the finals, but she definitely could. She's a contender, though. She is a legitimate contender. If she was in the Red Stars block, I think she would be the odds-on favorite to win it. But they put her and Utami in the same block, and that has changed a lot, obviously. Speaking of which, it's time. It's time. We talk about Utami Hayashishita, and I know Ring of Honor has started, so she very well could be wrestling right now. I have no idea. But Utami Hayashishita, she's the one, right? She's the one. I said it as far back as I think it was when the Saya story started. When Tam won, I said Utami should be the one taking it from her. When the Saya Queen's Quest story started, I said, okay, maybe she for your 5-star winner. I've been set on this. They send her to America after that incredible cage match where she, again, I said it on this show. She became the ace of Stardom. I said it. I meant it. This is the big match. This is the big tournament. She went 4-0 in America. She beat Billy Starks, Janai Kai, Lufisto, and Trish Adora. 1, 2, 3. Getting back on her singles ways. That's why she left. She wanted to become a great singles competitor again. How do we get there? A 2-time 5-star Grand Prix winner, the first in history. That's how we get there. Utami Hayashishita, she is the one. She has long been ready for this spot. Again, she is better than she was when she was last champion. She's like 3 times, 4 times better than she was when she's champion. That's how scary, talented this woman is. I couldn't be more excited for her 5-star Grand Prix run because it's going to be that great. It's going to be that special. If you're looking for an MVP that isn't your winner, that's why I think people aren't picking Utami. Utami has a lot of major matches every step of the way here. She obviously has the match with Mina on opening night. She has the big match with Momo, which is a big prove-it spot for her. She has another match with Azumi, which are always killer. A match with Micah. We love seeing them run those matches, obviously. Mirai, like I said, Momo. She has the big match versus Mirai. I think that's, believe it or not, first time ever singles match there. And of course, the final night for the first time ever in singles action, Julia versus Utami Hayashishita. What happens on the final night for the 5-star Grand Prix winner? They go to a draw. What match on that final night feels more like a draw than any of the others? Julia versus Utami Hayashishita. I rest my case. No one in this tournament should be winning over Utami. That's how I feel about it. There are contenders. There are. Micah, Suzu, Sayaka, Kamatani, Julia. There's contenders. But Utami is ready to get back to the top of the world. They teased it last year, right? She brought back the long hair. Maybe that would give her the confidence again. She came up short in the end. She lost to Koguma on the final night. This is her time to shine. She's better than ever. She's best in the world when she gets to show it. I'm very excited for this match. Let's see what we got over here. We got a lot of comments. Oh my gosh. Okay. The Julia match has potential to be the thing that sets the faction into motion. That was about Micah. I absolutely agree. Utami Ra. We got the roses. I am not putting up the GCW chant. Utami's on right now. That's incredible. Yeah. I timed that poorly or perfectly, whichever you think. We got another rose. Yeah, I don't see Utami going very far. Taking the fall from Mariah. All rose red everything. The ace, the future GOAT, and the 2023 5-star Grand Prix winner. Thank you for the super stat, Joni. The new ace will become the first 2-time 5-star winner and rewrite the record books. Oh dear God, this ROH discourse, we're not going to talk about it. Is it bad? Is it bad out there? I don't want to know. I have a slight doubt that whether she will win because they might save her for the big matches against foreign wrestlers Mercedes. That's what Julia is there for. That's what Julia's doing right now. That's what they're building up towards. We got the Mino Tommy trash talk at Twitter was great to hype the opening night. Absolutely. When you see Tommy in America and her confidence and swagger that oozed from her, it was crazy how much different she looked versus everyone she faced in America. Yeah, she's a major star. Also, IWGP champion Tommy potential. Yeah, I think that's down the pipeline for sure. This is about to be one of the best 5-star tournaments. Absolutely. And then Matt, Tommy will be working that hard camp after visiting the PC. Listen. What's a better story to tell than Tommy going to America to visit Io Shirai, the former Queen's Quest leader, the former two-time World of Stardom champion, the former 5-star Grand Prix winner, the former Wonder of Stardom champion, a Mount Rushmore wrestler of Stardom's history. It's that Utami goes and sees Io. She wins matches. This is how she comes back. When she hits that sharpshooter, we're all going to pop. I'm ready for it. We're all going to pop. I think she is the bona fide superstar that we all hope she would be. She is going to be a contender, to say the least. And I'll spoil it now. She is my pick to win this tournament. And finally, Julia. Don't discount Julia. Julia getting back to the top of the mountain should not be out of the question, folks. Julia and Tam Nakano one more time. I know if Dylan's still watching, dreading it. I brought it up on Stardom Quest. I'll bring it up again. Julia versus Tam one more time. Stardom Dream Queen, the main event. It's not that crazy to think about. Julia getting her second title run after beating Tam. It's not that crazy to think about. Now, she is the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. And if the plan is to have that Mercedes Moné match by year's end, that does damper the possibilities. Of course, Julia will be heading to the U.S. For All-Star Junior Festival. She'll supposedly be defending the belt on that show. We don't know against who. Wouldn't mind if they just brought someone over and did a special starter match on that show. But Impact, obviously, they have the Multiverse United show the night after. So that's a very big possibility. Overall, Julia's going to have an incredible tournament. Kicks off the tournament with Sayori New, ends it with Tommy Hayashishita. As good of a start and stop as you can ask for. A lot of big matches once again. A lot of good story matches, right? The one with Micah, obviously. The match with Mirai is interesting. The match with Utami, it's going to be them staring off at each other. It's going to feel big. It's going to feel huge. It's going to be a preview of an eventual big-time World of Stardom title match that we have somewhere down the road, potentially next year at whatever All-Star Grand Queendom / Stardom World Climax, whatever that major show is in April, May, March, April, May, whatever it is in that point, that could be your World of Stardom title match then. Julia is always a contender. Julia is always someone who deserves our respect. We're gonna have a good time with this tournament. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna be wrapping this up soon. I'm gonna try to get on a few more people, and then we'll go through the schedules and stuff like that. See my beautiful schedule here. I've broken down every single person proposed. I hope she pulls out a moonsault and sharpshooter during the turn. If she does that, I will pop huge. I didn't even think of the moonsault just because she never does that. She probably could hit one though. No. Great. Now I'm going to be waiting for Tommy sharpshooter every match she has. I'm so sorry, Dylan. No, Julie will sure win the red belt again, but not right now. But let's get to it. I know whoever's stuck around this whole time, thank you so much. I wasn't planning on the tournament being this long, or the tournament's going to be long. I wasn't planning on this being this long. I'm going to come to a wrap up soon here. This is a good time. I'll have Dylan join. If I have time for one or two more guests, I'll be sending links out. But if not, we're going to wrap it up soon. But Dylan has joined us. Dylan, welcome.
Hello. I'm here. Cool.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, the weather in Colorado Springs is kind of stupid. So I was supposed to be walking my dog. I wasn't supposed to be even watching this, but my dogs are upset because it's raining out. So I'm here to talk a little bit more about the 5-star.
That's how it works. But I'm happy to have you. Obviously, we got to the point where I don't have to talk with blocks anymore. Well, I do, but I don't. I'm very tired. I was silly. I thought I was going to get through all the blocks within an hour. We're an hour 45. That did not happen. But I'm happy to have you on. I know everyone should go check out Stardom Quest. We did a wonderful preview there where we answered a lot different questions from what I'm going over. So go check that out. But Dylan, since you're here, let's talk a little bit about the schedule because we have arrived to the schedule. I think that's an interesting talking point. In terms of opening night, what match are you most hyped for?
It's a bit hard because it's a heavy opening night. Probably Suzu Shuri. I think that one's the one that immediately stands out to me. It's just I love first time matchups, especially between two who I know are really good.
Yeah.
So I am really excited for that. And then obviously I'm excited for a lot of Hanan's tournament, but I'm especially excited for her matches against other judokas. So her and Micah and her and Utami are the two that kind of I have penciled in right now. I'm excited for those two. So Micah versus Hanan first night. I'm excited for that as well.
Also, profile picture. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had to grab. You know how it is when I'm on StreamYard. I gotta grab a picture that's fitting.
Yeah,
And
that's a good one.
Utami drawing blood for the first time. It's a
I
classic.
gotta point out this comment because it's great. It's nice.
It's
looking
true.
forward to a tournament that doesn't involve Chase Owens. Amen.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's so funny that it's like, oh, all those guys you really like. I'm gonna add Chase Owens to that block specifically.
That's exactly what they did.
Because it's
We
like
got shout out
that's
Big
been so
Dylan.
good. That's been so good outside of Chase so far, but that's besides the point.
So my first night, it's Shuri versus Suzu as well.
Yeah,
I was gonna go different, but I can't. I just look at that, and it's very exciting. Though Tommy and Mina tried to take it over, they really did. With their back and forth on Twitter, they entertained me very much, and I was like, thinking about it, that's gonna be Tommy's first match back. Mina's been Mina this year, which is a good thing.
Utami big leaguer was like, yeah,
Tommy
you want to be in America. I am in America, so I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
It's 9 p.m. Like that was crazy.
It was mean. They were mean to each other. It was pretty
Yeah.
great though. I'm really looking forward to that one. Once upon a time, Mirai versus Momo would have been without a doubt my most hyped. If Momo shows
concerning.
up on the opening night, I'd be very happy.
I make the Kenta jokes, but I think people don't quite understand that Kenta is one of my favorite male wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
So it's
To
like
be
that
fair,
comes
Kenta
from a
brings
very
it
real
out once
place.
in a blue moon.
Exactly, and so does Momo. So does Momo. But that's sort of like where I'm feeling. It's like I know Kenta could be the greatest wrestler of all time on certain days and certain years. I know Momo is the greatest wrestler of all time on certain days and certain years. It's just kind of a fear that late era Kenta is coming out and not early era Kenta, and that's where Momo's going to be riding this year. You never really know.
Yeah, it's very true. Also, respect to Mayu and Hazuki, of course. I'm not going to disrespect Mayu.
Oh,
Hazuki.
totally.
That's going to be great. I'm not putting up hashtag Chase Owens 5-star. There's no shot in hell. Mayu versus Suzuki for me with Suzuki winning. If they actually gave us an IWGP Women's Title match at one of the two pay-per-views, I would not be upset.
I feel like they are.
It feels like it based
Mayu
off
Suzuki's
of her
going to be
comments.
fun because it kind of got lost last year. It was on a Corkin show. It was really good. It was one of my favorite matches. Like it was a top 10 match of mine from last year's tournament. But there's so many matches and so many great matches. It definitely got lost because it wasn't live. So I'm really excited to see what they kind of do. Both of them have been really good on opening days of the 5-star in previous years. So I'm excited for that one as well. Definitely.
So looking up this schedule, we'll talk the next block before the Corkin at the bottom, 8:15. So, yeah, it's 8:15.
Yeah.
So I want to look at these because I think this is a good point to pick one of my favorite matches out from this tournament that I'm looking forward to, and that is of course Mayu Utani versus Suzuki. Just stuck right on that 8-8 show with Shuri versus Natsuko, which like 6-star said earlier should be great. Micah versus Momo is always intriguing, and Julia versus Mirai May should be a lot of fun as well.
Could be fun, yeah.
I think Mayu versus Suzu with the generational struggle stuff that could be very exciting. Obviously, Suzu's very determined to be considered the best wrestler in the world. One day if she was the best wrestler in the world unanimously, I wouldn't be shocked.
I 100% believe it.
I would be upset actually if she never got to that point. So that's my match out of that block that I'm really looking forward to. Though there's a lot of matches on both sides. I think Sayori New versus Azumi has a chance to shine.
Man, you know I was about to bring that up. I know Pedro knew I was about to bring that up. The ex-military match. Let's go. I'm really excited for that. Obviously, you interviewed Anu, and she pointed out like, "Oh yeah, I'm excited to wrestle Azumi."
That was a Dylan question, everyone,
That
and that's
was
exactly
yes.
the answer.
No, I was going to make it Azumi based, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let her answer Azumi because I knew that was the answer. Because that's just the vibe, right? They used to tag together, used to fight together on the undercard, and now they're here in a big spot. One of definitely of the 4 matches on that show. It might not be the biggest Tam Hazuki probably has over it, but it's bigger than Mina and Hanan and Shuri Natsuko. That might be, but it's a pretty high billing. So I am excited for that one. Like I said, ex-military shout out. I know way too much about Azumi's army and that little undercard faction that Azumi ran back in the day that Anu and Natsuko were a part of. So I am really excited to see them with all their growth, nowadays.
So one of the interesting things that I've noticed in this tournament, while really focusing on the Momo aspect, is she has a big match at every big show.
She does.
I think they did that on purpose, to make sure that maybe she gives some effort.
That could be two trains of thought, and they still don't really display what we are to expect, because that could be, oh, she's getting in there to get a big match, she's getting a big shot, or it could be to separate all the other big matches and let her just hit them with the bat and do a little bit of heat, hit them with the bat, win or lose, and nothing else. Like I
hope
agree
she doesn't
with you.
do it for every single one. That was pretty bad.
She will. I think Mirai Momo
She'll
is
do
going
it
to
for
be
one.
huge. Mirai Momo is going to be a
They'll
huge
tell us
telling
everything.
point, and then like Utami Momo, that's probably going to have some shenanigans, which I'm fine with. That makes sense. That's a story-based thing. But I think Mirai Momo is where we're going to see, okay, is Momo really going full tilt in that direction, or is she going to be more Momo?
The pain, of course, is we know she has it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter, does she want to use it? So let's look at that Korakuen, though. Of course, Tam Nakano versus Mayu Iwatani, Sayaka and Micah versus Natsuko, Shuri versus Suzuki, Utami versus Azumi, Sayori Anu versus Momo Watanabe, and Mina Shirakawa versus Mariah May. All potential hits. Absolutely no doubt about it. I think everyone's circling Shuri versus Suzuki, though. I think that's the one on that show. We don't get to see that.
There's a beauty to last year's tournament coming into this one. Thank you, Pedro. No, that's so many.
Oh, don't say that. She's not going to be this year's evil.
That's
evil, not possible.
Evil has it. Like he knows what he's doing in that direction, and that's whatever.
Yeah.
But he was never Momo. Like that's the thing. That's like if Evil was on the level of Momo in 2018, then I'd be very upset. But I like Evil because I never thought he was like this outstanding work rate guy that just went away from that. It's like Momo was. So, but that's the difference there. But yeah, I think Shuri Hazuki there's a beauty to that because I've noticed as most people have, most of the people in the Red Stars block from last year are not in this tournament. While most people from the Blue Stars block remained. So you get these Shuri matches, right? Shuri was in the Red Stars, and she had a lot of good matches. She was the highlight of that side of the tournament.
Yeah,
but
that's what she do.
This year she gets to go against some of the people who were in Blue Stars that we didn't get to see last year, and someone like Hazuki, someone like Suzu. Those are matches that you're really excited for because Shuri is this juggernaut when it comes to singles matches, and you don't know what to expect here.
Oh, come
You're
on.
disrespectful, man. No, I was gonna call out one of your points. 94th minute. I don't remember your whatever. I was gonna call out one of your points, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good point." I ain't gonna give you respect no more.
That was terrible. Oh,
yeah, no,
what
I
a
ain't gonna do that anymore.
Oh, sorry, that stopped me in my tracks. Good job. I felt that was so mean.
It's rough.
Could have said something. Time. Next thing you're gonna do is say something about Hazuki. You crime. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, we'll move forward in the schedule because there's a lot to go over. Tam versus Mayu, though, I'm gonna be honest, I'm biased towards Mayu matches this term. Well, I'm always I always am. I do wonder how they book that, to be fair.
Tam Mayu
because
is the
obviously
draw.
Tam
That's the mid-tournament draw that I
Yes.
perceive. Like, there aren't going to be a ton, I don't think.
Yes.
But if there's going to be one, it's going to be that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, because Tam's not allowed to beat Mayu.
Yeah, it
We're not doing
doesn't
that.
feel right.
No, especially on a Korakuen that's not
And they're both
live.
champions. They're also both champions.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
definitely
probably
a
want
draw.
to keep it a little bit even. They
Yeah,
don't want the
that's why I didn't
IWGP
name
belt
it.
over. So yeah, it's probably a draw.
Let's see here.
Looking
Current
at this
block
block of the
here. I'm gonna have
tournament,
widescreen join us in a second, mind you, which will be fun. Go a little
yes.
back and forth here, but I do want to hit this part of the tournament, which there's a lot. There's a lot in this tournament.
There's
Julia has
one
a hell
thing.
of a run because this is
There's
when
one thing
she's
I want
back.
to point out. So
Yes.
obviously everybody knows about how spread out the tournament is for certain wrestlers. You know, like
Yes.
some people have a lot of time off. I don't know if it's the most. I believe it is. Natsuko Tora, after that match with Natsupoi right there, 827, doesn't wrestle until
Mhm.
the 30th of the next month.
That's
Um,
crazy.
so a month and 3 days
She'll
is
wrestle to the final.
yeah. She doesn't wrestle to the final. She wrestles Natsupoi.
That's crazy.
She
They
takes
get
a
rid of
month.
all Tora's
Yeah, she's
matches.
got a month out. So that's why I realized that the other day, or not even the other day, yesterday, after me and Alex recorded this week's Stardom Quest, I talked to him. I was like, I don't know what's going on with Natsuko. I don't, because she's one of those wrestlers that she really could end up like in
Yeah.
the final, but she could also end up with 2 points. She's never gotten over 6 points, over 8 points. Yeah, I don't think she's ever gotten over 6 points in the tournament,
Yeah.
in her career. So she really could do anything. I mean, she could meet Utami in the final. She could just not. That when I really looked at the tournament, I looked at how she's doing. I don't think that means she's going to be in control of the tournament for that long. You know what I mean? I feel like
No.
she's got to be knocked out by then. She's probably sitting at 8 points on the 27th, and then people start just knocking her out over
Yeah.
time as the tournament continues and she's not in it anymore. So,
That's a good
just in
shout.
terms of drama, I just don't think that she has it. I might, again, I still don't know what Natsuko, but I feel like that might be a little bit of a tell that's like, okay, they're probably not going to have one person stand atop the bracket the entire time for a month and 3 days before she wins the block. Like that doesn't seem
Yeah,
realistic to me.
I have my doubts on that one. So one of the interesting matches here are on, of course, August 26th, Utami versus Micah, happening in the middle of Nagoya,
Yes.
just for fun. That's a pretty
It's
big
wild,
one that they
it's wild
give
they didn't
away.
give that to Fukuoka. They really
Yeah,
could have swapped that really easily with the Azumi match with Micah.
yeah.
Um,
So it is shocking. I think we can agree to that.
mhm.
But it's a big day for the Blue Stars block. Could that be the deciding factor? And when I say that is I brought up earlier how Micah has a shot, but she needs an Utami loss on the final night. I think that's a potential, though she is facing Mirai. Mirai could just shut her down on the final night. That's also true. But I think that's the match I would circle here. Everyone should keep an eye on
Yeah,
in this part of the tournament.
and they always have traded back and forth. I mean,
Yes.
Micah and Utami. That's very. I think the thing with Micah is that
She
that
needs the
golden
title not to
generation.
be on the line.
Yeah, that golden generation bond.
Mhm.
Anytime there's a title not on the line, it's super up in the air.
Yeah.
She could beat Saya any day. She could beat Utami any day.
Yep.
Let's not talk about Ida. She already does beat Ida every day.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
you know, but and so I think that is very important to note. I think I even had I had this as a draw. This is my other mid tournament draw, but that was a real late decision for me. Like I think that was another one that like in the past couple days I was like, I don't know what they do there because they really could do anything. And I kind of looked at the card they're on. I think the other
Mhm.
matches are going to go to decisions. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Tam Natsuko is going to go to a draw. If anything, that's a Natsuko upset. It's a rare Natsuko upset over Tam, but it could just be Tam over. I don't think it's a draw or anything
Yeah.
like that. Julia Mirai that can go, and Saya and Kid can go. So I can see definitely a draw there with Utami and
Mhm.
Micah. But it is really pretty much anybody's game, and that will be a huge tiebreaker
Yeah.
near the
It
end
is.
if it does go to a decision.
So obviously I told a lot of people, hey, come on the show. I'm trying to get everyone on. So again, if I don't get you on, I
Mhm.
apologize, but I will bring in widescreen here now before widescreen says anything. We're gonna talk about the live show on the 3rd, but
Uh,
widescreen will come to the show.
good picture, buddy. Good picture.
Is widescreen mic working? doesn't seem like the mic's working. So we'll keep going for a second. Because this is live, so
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes,
Right,
you're
so
good.
My headset wasn't working, just had to unplug it.
So let's talk about the third. Mayu Utani versus Shuri, Sayaka and Micah versus Suzuki, Tam Nakano versus Starlight Kid, and Utami Hayashishita versus Momo Watanabe. This looks to be one of the live shows. It is the 5-star special in Hiroshima. This is a big day. Obviously, Utami and Momo finally going head to head in a true singles match. You got Mayu and Shuri, which is Mayu and Shuri.
Run it back.
Saya and Hazuki live is very exciting. And then you have Tam and Starlight Kid. On this show, I think the intrigue does come with Utami and Momo in terms of how that story's told, what directions they go. But in terms of a pure match standpoint, it's Saya and Hazuki for me. And that's coming from someone who obviously is, Mayu Shuri fan. I've seen that plenty. Saya and Hazuki have two of the best matches of the past year against each other.
Yeah. Saya and Hazuki I really like, but I also really like Utami versus Momo. I think they had a 15-minute draw as a part of the 5-match series like a year ago.
And that was the weird thing that they did, like the tug of war thing.
That was climaxed by Miyu Amasaki against Starlight Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, but their draw in that series was, I loved it, and unfortunately they just bottled it and didn't have a big singles match. So it's good to see them finally revisit that.
And Dylan,
obviously I think both of you guys are hitting on the head, Hazuki, Saya, and Utami. Momo, but I would like to just exclude two of my least favorite wrestlers on the roster, and by doing that, I will pick Mayu and Shuri. But I actually am a big fan of Mayu and Shuri together. I remember they had that title match that I believe Mayu beat Shuri. It was early on. I think it was 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
I love that match. I remember me and Alex actually had like a disagreement, a very like stark disagreement. Cause I don't think he was as crazy about it because it went 28 minutes. That was one of the first like really long matches.
There was a long time there that Alex, if a match went over 20 minutes, it was bad.
Oh yeah, totally. And that was, fair. Like some people just feel that way about Joshi matches, about star matches. But I really liked that match. I thought it was really well done, and I've liked pretty much all of their matches since then. I think they had that match last year that kind of under-delivered at World Climax, but I think that they could really do a lot with the 15 minutes, and I think it'll be super fun. Mayu is ready to go. Shuri's ready to go. They're both kind of fresh. I think that's a big thing. Outside of the Mercedes match and outside of the Chihiro match, they both are kind of waiting for like big matches, and I think this 5-star is going to be huge for both of them.
That could be an IWGP match.
Yeah, they could build to that. I don't know if they will, but it's definitely a possibility.
Anything could be an IWGP match. Just saying. At this point, I would take anything. Just anything. And then the final event we will talk about before the final night, and I'll get your predictions, is Tam Nakano versus Suzuki, Shuri versus Sayaka, Kamatani, Starlight Kid versus Suzuki, Julia versus Micah, and Sarunu versus Mirai. This is the final. Well, not the final generational struggle match, but the final core of the tournament. This is the third generational struggle. It'll be 3 matches that count, obviously. Looking at this show, I'm very excited for a lot of it. I think Suzu has a good chance of maybe pulling off the upset there over Tam Nakano to give Generation Struggle their first win of the. I just said generational struggle. I meant the young generation, their first win in the generational struggle. So I'm looking forward to that one. So you guys give your 2 matches, then we'll get to the finals, and then we'll wrap this up because I just want everyone to know I recorded for an hour and a half before this recording.
Yeah.
You go, bud.
I think the only answer here is Julia versus Micah. There's nothing like DDM on DDM violence.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna bring it. So that's gotta be the option. I could see it going to a draw.
That's a big story match as well.
Yeah. Based
off Micah's recent happenings. Dylan.
Actually looking something up real quick, but it will be actually quick. I'm really excited for like all of this. I am excited for Suzu Tam, cautiously. But okay. So I looked it up. I wanted to make sure. Saya versus Shuri, not a first time match. They ran it in 2021 in the 2021
Yep.
5-star, and it was Shuri's first match. In fact, I totally forgot
Yes, it
about
was.
that. Which I assume was good because Shuri was having a crazy tournament that year.
It was
But
good.
other than that, like that's been 2 years. I think that's it's a fresher matchup, and Saya is a different wrestler now than she was in 2021. I want to hammer that home. She was not the greatest wrestler in the world in 2021, and now it's very arguable. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited for that one. I will say more than anything, it is Micah and Suzu that I'm excited to see what's going on with. I feel like if anything's going to happen, because I think we all kind of the Suzu Micah final is possible, but it's not likely. So I feel like they're going to do something here. Whether it is Micah fully aligning with Julia and Julia being like, okay, homie, you're DDM for real. Let's stop hanging out with Suzu. Or it's like Micah being like Micah and Suzu winning and Suzu coming out at the end and them kind of squashing the beef they had and leading that into the end of the tournament. And, maybe Micah doesn't leave DDM at that moment, but something like that, something moving forward. I am super interested in the story there. A lot of good matches, though. I mean, Anu versus Mirai is a stupid match that will probably be really good for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
yes, it will. You're absolutely
good
right.
show here. Good show. Here.
And then 94th minute, both Julia and Micah make a move during their match. Yeah, I'm sure they will. All right, we'll get to the final night here, and this is where I'll end up letting you guys go. But give me the 3 following MVP finals and winner. If you listen to Stardom Quest, it's fine. But if you haven't, I'll let Dylan say it. But Wide Tree, you can go first.
So MVP finals and what else? Sorry.
The winner.
Okay. So I'm gonna be very boring and have Utami versus Saya as the final with Utami winning. No surprises here. Just down the middle. As for MVP, I think with respect to 6-star, there is one person better than Natsuko day in, day out, and that's Suzuki. And I think she's lined up to have a really monster tournament. That Mayu match is going to be great on the opening day. She's got the lore match with Tora. She's got her matches with Saya. It's just she's got a match with Poi too. That should be
that'll be really fun.
She's gonna have a phenomenal tournament.
And Dylan.
I don't even remember what I said on Stardom Quest, but it's pretty much gonna be the
perfect.
Same. I mean, Utami Saya, it does feel like the final that I see. If Saya loses to Tam, I still think Saya probably gets to the finals. But I could see a Suzu in there. I could see a Shuri in there. I think it's not to sound like a broken record, but it's definitely like that. I think Suzu going through is a bit unlikely unless she's winning, or unless it's against Micah. And Utami Shuri, if they want to run it back, they could run it back. I'm sure they would if they, I'm sure Rossi's sweating, oh, do I do it though?
They ran Tam and Julia back.
Yeah, exactly.
Year,
I imagine he's itching to kind of just Rossi. It's just
another new spot for them.
Yeah, that's the first time technically, and it would be Utami's first certified win over Shuri if it did happen here. It's a big deal.
2-time winner crown.
That is a big deal. That's a big deal. If Utami over Shuri in the final, that would be a huge deal for Utami. The one person that she could never beat, she finally beats, would be a big deal. As for MVP, I believe I said Suzu last time. I'm gonna go on the other side. It's Saya. I think Suzu and Saya are gonna be. I think there's a lot of MVPs in this tournament, frankly, but I think they both are they operate at such a high level. You know what I mean? But I think Saya, you kind of forget sometimes that it's oh yeah, she's just had every I'm a match guide guy, and I look at my match guide, I'm like, oh, she just is so far ahead of literally every other wrestler in the world, just because I love her style. And I think that she consistently operates at such a high level. So I'm gonna go with Saya this time around because I don't think people realize how close to best in the world candidate she is until she has 9 matches in a row that are insane. And
I've been hyping her up on purpose
outside of the Ami match.
days.
The Ami match is probably gonna be ass because they
don't have good chemistry.
Yeah, and I think Ami has a couple good matches in this tournament, but that's just not going to be one of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. Oh, trust me, I get.
I do.
Matches
though. A good match, though. That's huge.
All right, but I'm going to let you both go so I can wrap this up, mostly because it's 2 hours and 9 minutes. I've been here way too long by myself for at least an hour of that. But thank you to both of you. Enjoy the tournament. Follow Dylan at XX Ichiban. Follow Widescreen at Widescreen Joshi to keep up with their thoughts on the 5-star Grand Prix along the way.
There will be many. There will be many.
There will be many. So long to both of you.
Later, bud.
All right. Anyone that stuck around, thank you so much. I'm going to break down the final night. I'm going to break down the first night. Then I'm going to give you my full final predictions for win MVP and everything. If you stuck around, thank you so much. If you left and come back, if you're watching on video on demand, thank you for listening. Feel free to skip to the end. That's okay too. But let's get to it. Mayu Utani versus Starlight Kid. Obviously a match I'm very excited for. Like I said at the beginning, that's for me. Sayaka and Micah versus Suzuki. I consider that the block breaker. Tam Nakano versus Natsuko should be a very intriguing match. We know what they do in their bouts. Shuri versus Ami Sarai could be the best match of Ami Sarai's career. And Hazuki versus Natsuko, they are going to play off each other's past like never before, making that block just as good as the other block. Of course, we'll have Julia versus Utami Hayashishita for the first time ever in singles competition. We'll have Mirai versus Micah in what I have called the never open weight battle between that duo. We'll have Azumi versus Momo Watanabe. Plenty of history to work off there. They always work great together. Hanan versus Mariah May. That's intriguing. They have a funny little story going on online. More often than not, Mariah May wants Hanan to join the Club Venus. Probably not going to happen, but that should be a fun little match. And then Mina Shirakawa versus Sayori Inu, the leader of Club Venus, versus the person who jumped into Cosmic Angels when Mina left Tam in the dust. My match of the night prediction will be none other than Julia versus Utami Hayashishita because it's the first time ever, and they're going to be at the top of their game. But personally, last year was my favorite match of the tournament with Mayu versus Starlight Kid. I could see it happen all over again. And Sayu and Suzu is going to be fantastic. But then there's the final, which of course I'm looking forward to. We still got comments. I'm somehow still here. I'm also still here. Thank you so much to all of you. Final day full of bangers, potential to be best Stardom event of the year with those matches. It's been my Stardom of the year of show. It's been my Stardom show of the year the past 2 years. I'm not crossing it off. I think this show has just as good a chance to be better than All-Star Grand Queendom. Mayu versus SOK to be on the last day 2 years in a row tells me neither will be in contention, so it gives the match a reason to watch. You're probably right. It wasn't last year, and it still worked out to be fantastic. But that final night is as good as it gets. Look at the first night. The first night we got Tam Nakano, Sayaka Kamatani. That's probably going to be your main event. We have Natsuko and Starlight Kid. We have Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki. We got Shuri and Suzuki. We got Ami Sarai and Natsuko. We got Azumi versus Mariah May. Micah versus Hanan. Julia versus Sayori Inu. Utami Hayashishita versus Mina Shirakawa. And Mirai versus Momo Watanabe. And yes, as Far said, please like the video. And yes, I was actually just going to tweet it out. They did it on the Japanese Twitter, but not the English. I found it. They did drop the pay-per-view link. You can go follow me at Scotty Wrestling if you want to see that. They'll probably tweet it out on the English Twitter very soon. Best 5-star ever coming up. Yes, but like Far said, please like the video. Far, I'm so sorry. If we weren't at 2 hours and 13 minutes, I would love to have you on. If you want to give your picks for MVP, finals and winner, please do in the comments. I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you folks, but it's on Pia. Yes, the link is out there if you want to go find it. This first night, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be phenomenal. It's as good of a first night as the 5-star Grand Prix has ever seen. Saya and Tam is always a lock, always a guarantee for greatness. Natsuko versus Starlight Kid. High speed greatness. Mayu Utani versus Suzuki. Are you kidding me? You know it's going to be phenomenal. Shuri versus Suzuki for the first time ever. Ami Saray and Natsuko Tora in a match to prove what they're all about. Azumi versus Mariah May. Mariah May's been wanting to go high speed. This is her chance against the very best in the world. Like you said, like Dylan said, Micah and Hanan, very interesting as former judokas. We have Julia and Sayori New. That brings all the intrigue, of course. Sayori knew someone of Julia, of course, Tam's group, so automatically that clicks. But also, they had a match in Actress Girls in 2019, which Sayori knew won. Should be intriguing. That is your probable top match of the Blue Stars block. Though I'm looking at Utami versus Mina Shirakawa. That could be your match of the night. We're going to see what new Utami brings to the table. We're going to see what Mina Shirakawa is all about after this MVP-like year. And then Mirai versus Momo Watanabe. Will Momo prove it? I think she will. I think her and Mirai are going to have a fantastic slugfest early on. The question is, what do I think main events night one? I'm going to go with Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kamatani. You put the world champion in your main event. You go to the match that has delivered many, many times, though my sleeper pick for the main event is, of course, the Stars battle. Mayu, Utani, and Hazuki. I wouldn't be too shocked. They're putting a lot of focus on that match online, but it's probably going to be Tam and Saya Kamatani. And finally, let's get to my picks. My picks, very simple. I've pretty much hinted at the entire time. My finals will be Saya Kamatani versus Utami Hayashishita. Queen's Quest collides in the final. Last year, I nailed the final to a T. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. I don't feel as confident saying it this year, but I do feel confident that if you want to tell another phenomenal story in that main event, you do it with Utami. You do it with Saya Kamatani. You play off their problems from earlier this year and you put them in there. Utami overcomes Saya to get back in the win column in the 5-star Grand Prix tournament win, sending her to the Stardom Dream Queendom finale at the end of the year to close it all out, and she beats Tam Nakano for the championship. Far with your MVP. Suzu, finals, Utami and Natsuko, winner Utami. Thank you for sharing that. I kind of got the hint along the way when you brought up Natsuko earlier, but my MVP of the tournament. My MVP of the tournament. I don't like to pick the champion as MVP. It's something I don't do it. I don't do it. I try to stay away from that. So who's my MVP? You know, there's a lot of good choices, right? There's potentially too many good choices. But when I pick away from the winner, when I pick who has the big matches on the big nights, you have to look at a very select group. And I'm going with none other than Shuri to be the MVP. I think she's ready and willing. She's going to have some of the best matches of the entire tournament. It's going to be one of the best shows of the year, the best tournament of the year. That goes without saying. So, after 2 hours and 18 minutes, I'm ready to wrap this up. I'm very done. We got some pick the shock if Saya wins. Not that I complain. I mean, there's a story there. If Saya does the title match with Tam at Stardom X Stardom, I'm very I start to believe in that final a little bit less. But if they don't do that, then it's very possible. 94th minute. MVP Suzu. Finals Micah and Saya Kamatani. Winner and Micah to be different. I respect that. But thank you so much, everyone that has listened. We had a lot of viewers at one point. I'm sure a lot of them have fallen off. I very much appreciate it. I mean, I very much appreciate the super chats. If you want to like the video, make sure it pops up a little more for people to see. That'd be very appreciated. I'm very grateful for those who continue to listen to me talk about this crazy, crazy world of Stardom and the crazy world of Joshi. It means the world to me. This Sunday, July 23rd, the best tournament in professional wrestling kicks off. You don't want to miss it. Watch it live, watch it on pre-tape, just make sure you check it out. It is going to be the best tournament of the year. Nothing's going to come close. The G1's already out of the voting for me. This is the tournament. They're going to go out there and hit a home run. This is the best field they've ever had. This is the best possible finale they've ever had, because while we all think it might be Utami, it's not as much of a lock as it was last year, and that's the exciting part of it. If you want to follow me at Scotty Wrestling on Twitter. If you want to check out my interview with Sayori Nu, please make sure to do so. She told me about why she joined Cosmic Angels, who she'd like to face in the future, the potential of facing Suri down the line, and things like that. So make sure to go check that out, and we'll see the final comments. We got Venji. Great show as always. Thank you so much. Far, love this so much. Far, thank you so much for listening. Pug Pedro with the is that a wave? I almost said triple clap. It wasn't the triple clap. Thanks for the stream. No, thank you for listening. I don't do it unless there's people listening. Thanks, Scott. No, thank you for listening. AEW Women's Division blog. You're gonna more than 30 seconds next time. Awesome show, the best output machine as always. That means too much. Thank you, 94th minute. He's more Hikalea. That was good. That was good. I should have ended on that. Thanks for doing these, Scott. Of course, Jeff, thank you for listening. Like I said, thank you for being here the whole time. And Joni, thank you so much. I appreciate you sticking here. I know you said it was very late for you. That was hours ago. So thank you so much for listening. It really does mean the world. I hope for you, Tommy gets that win. We get the ultimate rose at the end of this tournament for a second straight time. But like I said, I'll be back multiple times throughout this tournament. I'll have a few more live streams. I'll probably live stream one of the live Stardom shows in between, probably Stardom X Stardom or something like that. But make sure to continue following this YouTube channel if you want more from me. And like I said, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything. Until next time, everyone, enjoy the opening night of the 5-star Grand Prix. See ya.